Ya.
Harus mulai lagi.
Sabar.
Tim my room.
My room ya, coba lihat.
I mean, you're doing that one against the Jet. Good luck, son. Forsaken.
He doesn't play too much Sova.
No, and he is a great player. I won't fault him at that, but that is a hell of a task. And obviously no damage done to Kankang. He's able to escape.
At the same time, though, all of that pressure over towards B has perfectly obfuscated where PRX are actually intending to go. Oh, a completely free A site here. Even enough time for Jing to leisurely break the nano to get set up.
Another Seoul in sight. For any sort of flood defense play by EDG, they've got to wait for the rest of their team to get in. They're using a drone early on here. Very forward position set up by Divide. Dodged the drone, just tucked, but now they want to try and double up and take the fight towards the back.
Can't give Chishu a kill.
Flashes up and over already. The swings are coming out on top of Rafters. It's too much to overcome.
Yeah, habis.
Finally, EDG taking his fights together with Smoggy. Essentially leading the charge. He's dropped down to single
Menang nih,
digits, but
Maverick.
already the damage
Menang nih.
might have been done.
Satu screen.
To the corner, close and personal. Still alive here. Brings
Maverick.
it to that 1 versus 1. Kang aim trained onto the angle base. The shot.
Ah!
Wonderful.
No time gak sih?
Time.
No time.
Needs to get onto it. To the circle.
No
Already
time.
shrink. Yes, it
Emang
did.
menang sa.
PRX.
Menang?
Oh, he loses the operator as well. Absolute heartbreak for EDG, who looked like they had another round that they were going to put on the board. What a recovery from those PRX players tucked there towards the generator. The retake was working. Yes, Jishu had fallen, they didn't have access to the lockdown, but the trade-outs were working. And that's one where technically Mindfree gets credit for the record clutch, but all he had to do was survive.
Yeah. But he bought the time, right? Got the kills.
Kalau Ubun hot.
Just enough.
Hot molotov.
Just enough for
Hot
the win.
molotov, cuk. Hot fire kan.
EDG are really struggling here. Kang. Let's grab himself the one before the trade comes through, seeking to punish that drone.
Boys, it's off.
Orbs being picked up. The war machine is starting to chug here, if you are PRX.
Whoa!
Wall as well. Dropping a vibe
Whoa!
to take these fights at opportune timings. Chichu
Ya keluar gua anjing.
will try and even it out with a bit of damage, stray shots, but
Keluar sih,
too
Bun.
lucky
Mandi
in
wajib
that
dong.
regard. Simon though, let's connect one straight to the dome on
Jorok
Forsaken.
ngentot.
Got a lineup for this.
It's a big kill, but no weapons really retrievable just yet.
Has pulled out the ults though that we were just talking about being earned, so PRX feeling that pressure, like they have to combat some of this as well. And now that is the danger zone. Lockdown.
Is he even going to get out?
Oh
Kena.
my
Cucu.
Aduh anjing.
But
Oh, namanya
time will
Cicu ya?
start to
Gue
take it
Cucu
in,
aja.
onto the spike.
Cicu.
Divide.
Surely no hope.
Cucu,
Menang ini
cucu.
udah.
But I think
Menang
he
menang.
wins this one. Swings it out.
Eh.
Chichu.
Eh, eh.
Oh, but yeah.
Ya, belum setengah.
Very little chances there for Chichu to play with just because of that lockdown that was in play. 6-1 now. The scoreline. PRX really running away with his side of the icebox.
Simon does a
Ding,
good job there
senyum-senyum
of
cowok
even
dia.
forcing out the lockdown, because otherwise that would have been an enormous tool to now contest within the rifles.
Tas.
But of course,
Buh.
this is EDG's map pick, and they're down 6-1.
Buh.
This is not a good way to begin.
Bah.
EDG's defense side is not their best side. When I was watching them play this previously in China, they heavily relied on that Kang operator to get this side working. Their defensive setups were not the best. And Kang's only had it in his hand for 1 or 2 rounds max.
Yeah, barely being able to
Apa nih 4 second? Lihat 4 second dong, line up.
get it.
Just
Oh,
been
bukan.
crushing. The weight of the corporatocracy bearing down upon EDG.
That's a big word.
They've been milked. The
Yep.
serfs tilling the fields, they can barely get enough money for their weapons.
I know that one.
Kameranya ke
Don't need a dictionary.
PRX mulu perasaan deh.
Turret's going to get taken down in mid. Mindfree. EDG now might have to pull a few more
Oh.
bodies here. Smoggy.
Something. Wah.
Nice. It's a high-low setup. The rest of the team as well. As soon as they catch that player, it's going to force out the res. Wall is up and a bound and a bit of spam and sprayed away.
Mati lagi anjing.
Yep, snake bite. Able to collect that kill here.
Kankan posted up over towards B. This pit to deny any kind of re-hit from PRX. Kankan's going to keep pushing up, despite the fact they haven't heard anything. It's a risky spot, but as PRX go for the mid to B instead, he's going to have a great position for any potential backstab or retake. This looks tough to navigate with 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, your options are hyper limited. I mean, Can try and pivot back into A, but they've still got 3 players there, still got the pit. Through the gut though, straight through now, in through mid. Simon with the knife, up against the wall. Catches, cancels onto the drone. There's only 14 seconds left. They don't have any semblance of map control. The lockdown again, forcing them out into the open. The easiest fight here. Shooting fish in a barrel, and Simon, this newcomer to the squad, lighting them up.
Great closeout in this round for EDG.
Lamaan guys.
First round where it really feels like they're in control the entire time.
Lamaan masuknya.
They desperately needed. Still not going to look to invest the operator. By the look of things, 5 rifles on the board. Kakan didn't even really get pressured in this round. All came down to these fights over towards A. High-low setup. Working wonders. It makes sense as well that EDG picked Icebox. I know they're down 6-2 and they're fighting to stay level in this and a long way off. But PRX did lose badly on this map the last 3 times they've played it. It did look a little weak for them. They don't look weak today. No.
Jadi ngambil coy dia.
Improvement. The orb tapped up forces something into the fight. The dash to try and leap into the fray. Maybe pounce onto a target or 2 here, but he's going to get out. No damage done as well.
He's been given all the room in the world.
Yeah.
And the snakebite's been used before the shocks, before the plant. No break on the wall.
Yeah, looking like a playground right now. Viper's pit. Drop down into the players here. EDG trying to go a bit more fast and loose here. Spam. It's going to be critical. Dash up and over. Onto the point. He's found it. Perfect accuracy. At least expecting something though. He's right back at you with the blade storm here. Divine catching him. The 140 cleanup from Forsaken. Chichu. To do it all. And it's too much. 7-2 now for PRX.
Recovery in the round from something.
Menang. Alhamdulillah.
Looked like EDG had done everything they needed to. When PRX pit like that, they can't control angles very well. They can't stop the retake from taking all of that space. EDG barrel their way all up to pipes, get 2 kills through the pit,
terus smoke 2.
and still can't win it in the 5v3.
Shout out to Grandma.
I don't know why.
Yeah. I'm seeing another pause in the timer. Which means one thing. Timeout. Or tech pause. Take your pick. For me, I'd like a timeout.
Yeah.
I would prefer a timeout.
It's a tech pause. It's a tech pause. There you go. You don't get your wish.
Tech pause siapa nih?
Cabut dulu ya, Cuk.
Ya, Jack.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe we can guess as well. Player shots. It's one of my favorite games to play.
Yeah.
Siapa nih tech pause?
It's a tense game right there. Even though it's 7-2 between these 2 squads.
EDG kayaknya nih.
Do you believe that the history of these 2 orgs is going to continue onwards? I feel like a lot of the history seems to indicate that EDG struggle to get past these like big, heavy organizations that we have in Valorant. So people like Loud. We've all seen the Sadak versus Kang Pokeball memes.
Yeah.
Pasti lihat yang tech pause
and also
dong.
PRX. I mean, the score is 4-1 historically between these 2 organizations. These are 2 of the orgs, Loud and PRX, that have kind of stunted EDG as they've hit their ceiling on what they're able to achieve throughout 2023.
Cicu.
I mean, Shanghai.
Cicu apa Kanggang? Cicu.
Send them that early exit. Where EDG just bottomed out of playoffs, right? And now looking to try and make it happen even in groups. It's like EDG, this coming into champs, they wanted that chance of redemption, I suppose, right? To try and build off and prove that they are still China, still a good team. You got to take seriously, but
bisa waktu itu Tens pernah ke kamar mandi.
Oh iya. Tech pause dia.
Iya.
Final event of the year.
Nice.
Kenapa nggak langsung ini aja di inin KD gitu?
Nice. Legacy of these teams to be getting in the group stage, and it's an incredibly stacked group. I mean, when you consider that G2 was also in here, and they looked pretty phenomenal.
And I didn't really answer your question. I answered it with a question.
No, I don't mind that.
Which is very politician-like of me. Yeah, there's something about PRX, and partly I think some of it, I mean, I'm just reading into kind of the press conferences from the EDG players where they're talking about one of the big difficulties, I think, is mid-rounding and losing track of the game at those moments. And I think PRX are a team that when they press you with their high tempo explosiveness, you can get sucked into the fights a lot and struggle to slow it down and make sure that you're calm, orderly in the mid-rounding, which EDG have spoken about as a bit of a problem, which is why they've made roster changes, moves, switching stuff around to try and correct some of these problems for them, but they still highlight it, I think, as a weakness of them. And PRX are very good at exploiting teams like that, I think, that are not on the same page at those moments.
It's interesting, both of these teams at some point have had issues with the IGLing that's been going on.
Yeah.
PRX a lot earlier. PRX decided to get rid of their IGL and just have a democracy.
Yes.
We'll all kind of figure out who's got the rhythm of the game, and whoever's feeling the reads on their opponent and the right reads for the moment can step up and call. They're the exception, not the rule. It doesn't work for most teams. That's chaotic for most people. And EDG went in a different direction, kind of, by having their
Naik pos gue nutup jendela dulu kali ya, ya deh.
majority of the IGLing and adding a
Jadi nutup
new
jendela
player
kalah
to
banget
fill
dah.
that gap and add a little more firepower to the roster. But they certainly haven't gone for the democratized calling approach. Now, having said that, when you look at how teams thrive under chaos, it is PRX that actually most of the time are coming up with really nice adjustments in those spots.
Mulai pun dia nutup jendela.
Decentralized
Itu-
calling structure.
Berarti abai-abai dari Aksa nih ngomong.
Well, back into it for round 10.
Langsung nutup jendela nih mulai ya.
The first half of Icebox here, EDG not with a lot of money.
Tiba-tiba selesai nih Aksa nih.
Still some danger though. Oh, but he's just
Dia satu
missed that
rumah dah
time.
dia nutup jendela.
Oh! He's been
Oh
caught.
jelas.
Lulled into a false sense of security there just from the contacting up by PRX. They waltz their way forwards into the A site now using the drone to clear most of this way.
And it is an eco round, a half-buy round from EDG, but I think nobody's given them a little too easy of an entrance there.
And down for Jing as well. Nothing to really push this one back. It looks like EDG might have wanted to take the fight towards it. They're already in through the back of the side of Flash. It's quite excellent. Cloudburst at the feet to try and defend as well, but it comes down to Chichu.
Respect Cicu.
1v2 in the peak of the top of the
Right.
wall. It's just so unorthodox. You don't expect it. That's what you get with PRX. They're always going to be trying to knock you off tilt.
That's a great peek. I love that one. The wall is so useful. It's not just a wall to get kills on top of, but Jing showing there that you can set up multiple double faces and unexpected peak timings even on that. EDG, they're going to have rifles available. Still not going for that operator on Kong Kong. It's round 11. They need this. Otherwise, they're basically out of their map pick already.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good your attack side is. If you're starting this many rounds down, you need brilliance. EDG need these last two. Someone's going to throw in out to late knife.
Oh, udah 8-2 tiba-tiba.
Space is already granted and given. Hunter's Fury.
Lu
Presto.
nutup
Pulls out
jendela
the
mana,
animation.
Sa?
An ult's going to be wasted
Rumah.
from Forsaken.
Semuanya.
Simon using
Iya.
his no command to do the job.
Nice.
Pantes lama ya.
Forced to pivot away, but no map control for PRX. It's a bit of a scurry and a
Tadi hampir nge-clutch
scramble,
coy
if I
si
do say so
Cicu.
myself. They break the
Cicu.
turret at least into mid. Poor Timmy.
Yeah, they're really threatening some kind of mid lurk right now, which should
Tuh
keep
live siapa
Kong
enggak?
Kong cemented in mid. He's going to get aggressive, take a risk, go and re-clear this a little.
Kenapa?
But they're still not moving people away from the A site. They're expecting
Lu
this to
live
be a read.
apa enggak?
Iya,
They're
live.
wrong.
Oh.
Smoggy must find some value into this
Woi.
position.
Gila.
Something rips his
Something
head
nih,
off.
bos.
Been playing the same angle since the pistol round. He's always on
Something
that
really
spot.
crossed dah.
Bad wall from Jing has to be broken.
And Hunter's
Lagi
Fury
ngamuk
forced
dia.
out at least.
Ah, gua harus
Plan was
juara pokoknya
attempted to be
champion.
stuck. Nobody. They're let loose.
Gua harus belajar
Bees are
ulti dia
lightning,
sama
only
gua.
the one tag though. Slow orbs through and out, and needs to be the defense. Kang Kang is ahead
Kangkung.
of it though. We were talking about them catching these timings, trying to get quirky with it. Dash, active, Jing. But he's
that
up a
quirky.
bit. They're running straight into them. Seeing glimpses here of the ancient way that China likes to play. Drop down, nobody seeking to deny this plan. Jing, the entire time being pushed to his limits with time. Going down now, but an extension for it. 2 versus 1 Devi. Try and shut this down. Best chance and a long while by EDG. They grasp it firmly to at least get that third round.
What a devastating mistake that was for Jing to make. Putting his wall in such a bad spot. No one was nearby to be able to break it while it was in its weakened state, apart from his own team. So if he'd put it down properly, they would have had a much better post plant. Plant maybe would have been denied by the Hunter's Fury, but at least they would have been in a position where they could get back up to it without getting punished by Kong Kong like that. Now, what that dash was, that was too quirked up for me. That was bonkers. But EDG got one on the board. A light chuckle there as well, and a light heart attack. That's what you're going to get in this game, I think. Viewers included. We need to put one of those warnings on, like at the beginning of the show. Any photosensitivities or heart conditions, look away.
Your heart's going to be racing here, watching this. Nobody. Unusual with the angle. Will be pushed and postured away in through the back of the site now. 5 players grouped up for PRX. This is it. For the last hurrah, honestly, for the first half of Icebox. Dash up and over something. Again, he's so unusual and orthodox in terms of his position, but he does like to play it. So on this A side, a lockdown though from EDG. It's going to force most of these PRX players out. I believe they'll be able to escape detainment.
And now the re-hit. PRX love to go for these. EDG was expecting it in the previous round and they were wrong. Do they stick to their guns here? They're 4 defending the A side.
They're willing to fight over this one, tooth and nail as the curtain drops. Bodies will fall and topple. Forsaken being one of them. Rez online though. Trying to get these equal trades out, and somehow it's PRX who have found his advantage. Into the round divide! Leaves himself to be shot. Even Smoggy on the high ground, dropped down 6 HP. To survive. And Chichu alongside him will be forced to spectate. Kang Kang in a 1v2. He's caught the time behind them, but still guns are trained on this spot. And position Forsaken. First shot accuracy is there. 9-3 is where we stand.
Forsaken has been playing such a good game. He's 15-7. He's been getting active and involved in so many of these fights, able to play a little more aggressively than you'd expect perhaps for somebody playing Sova, but also more aggro than he gets on a lot of his flex rolls. EDG are in trouble here.
They certainly are. Barely been time for even a breather, but we will get some time as well. The teams to discuss.
Rambutnya kagak diponi lagi, Forsaken kagak ada rata. Makanya jadi GG mainnya. Paton G2 kan inian. Diponi depan. Susah lihat jadinya.
From their League of Legends team, also 2021 League of Legends World Champion, and Luna to help with our translation, of course. LPL의 슈퍼스타죠. 그리고 2021 월드 우승 선수인 EDG의 GSA 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 여기서 보니까 색다른데 혹시 좀 발로란트는 하시는지부터 물어보고 싶어요. Now, you know it's a pleasant surprise seeing you here watching the Valorant matchup. So, do you play Valorant yourself?
其实很高兴在这里看到你们，也来看比赛。那你自己平时会玩无期约吗？
自己偶尔放假的时候会去玩。
Of course, at off days.
Okay. 쉴 때는 한다고 하는데 그러면 랭크랑 좀 주체는 뭔지도 물어보도록 할게요. So, you know, what's his rank? What does he play? Tell me more.
能不能跟我们聊聊更多？比如说你的段位啊，平时玩什么英雄呢？
段位自己玩的比较菜吧，就是黄金水平。然后自己喜欢的英雄是瑞娜。
I mean, I'm a gold. I mean, and my favorite agent is Reina.
골드고 좀 주체는 레이나라고 얘기를 하는데요. GSA 선수 아무래도 e스포츠 선수 생활을 하면서 이렇게 타이트하고 굉장히 리스크가 큰 경기들을
Tapi kalau cowoknya kelihatan agak bedanya.
Nah, kalau cowoknya beda.
Iya. Kalau cowoknya iya agak mirip-mirip.
A lot of stressful situations where stakes are high. So is there anything you would like to tell the EDG players right now?
其实你也是经历过非常多很多紧张啊、激烈的比赛的嘛，那你有什么话想跟 EDG 的选手说呢？
就在台下看他们比赛还是蛮紧张的，对，并且发现今天他们对手实力非常强，所以就希望他们能够加油，然后打好自己的。
I'm really nervous, you know. Even just watching them, and today their opponent is really strong, so hope they can win.
강팀을 상대하기도 하고 지금 보는 것만으로도 이렇게 떨리는데 잘 경기를 치렀으면 좋겠다고 얘기했습니다. 이렇게 지혜지혜 선수 만나봤습니다. Thank you, 지혜지혜.
Udah menang nih Besorannya.
There you go. That's how those skill disparities compare. Imagine how good these guys could be.
I know. Be sweeping the floor with multiple Riot titles.
No, at the same time though, you don't expect that Gold Reigner in your games to be a world champion in esport, do you?
No, I feel like that's where the Smurfing allegations might come out as well.
But all right, EDG, dire straits for this Chinese team.
It really is. It's a pistol round that, yeah, I feel like Once more, broken record when I say it, but it needs to be a must-win because it's their map pick. Sunset's next. PRX have managed to squeak that one through in the map pool. One of their best maps.
Absolutely, they're 100% their best map. They're one of the best teams in the world on Sunset. Super consistent. And this is EDG's map pick. However, on the pistol, EDG have been waiting outside B just for a moment like this, where PRX have that false sense of security and pull people away from the defense. Something, however, returns to the fray.
Yeah. They're all grouped up, ready for the fight as well. Once more, Wall's going to be dropping, but heads rolling. For EDG, they're going to be happy with it. Something seeks to equalize, only gets the one, but still plays for his life. Buying time for the rest of the team, and the rotations are bound here for PRX already. Back into the fight, nobody with a plan needs to be defended. Let's get it off, and Smoggy is the casualty. Something still there, kicking, getting active, spraying away with just a few sheriff bullets, all it takes. Teammates alongside him. EDG sailed away through here with a little bit of discipline, underhanded with the flash as well, but it's being punished in kind. It's got him penned in. Simon, there's only so much one man can do. And against that onslaught of PRX, it's not enough at all. That's their 10th round. That's a pistol round. Momentum is entirely in the hands now of PRX.
And that's also a recovery from a 3v5 situation. Quickly turned into a 3v4, must admit, but EDG should have been in control of that one. Their pistol round strategy actually worked, but you can see it on the frustration, the faces of Muggle and Haodong. This map, it's a blowout at this point. EDG don't even have enough money to be able to force. They're looking like they're going to get absolutely rinsed, smoked, destroyed on their map pick. And whoever loses here and gets grouped in champions, it is going to be such bitter, bitter disappointment for their year.
Yeah. An attempt maybe to bring down Mindfreak, maybe crack open the B side, but in the retreat back to the corner. Util posturing them away. EDG need a miracle, need an eco win. Jing's up and over on top of the wall, seeking these angles, Forsaken with the swing. The plan was not held down. It's a round that escapes EDG once more.
Perfect.
Fallen to pieces before their very eyes, and you mentioned that disappointment. For EDG, it's definitely going to be palpable. It's a squad that just been trying to exceed expectations that fans levy against them, expectations that them, expecting, I suppose, of themselves.
Absolutely. This team was looking to break that glass ceiling for China. They were fighting to break through, to take down big squads, make runs like Tokyo over and again. And just like PRX, they've been overtaken at the moment within their region. PRX are no longer the team you associate with Pacific as that big team. Genji took that away from them, and then have waltzed out of this tournament. But EDG already, I mean,
natural rival ini.
who EDG destroyed in China in their upper bracket finals. Destroyed them, didn't look close. Trace out of their group.
Ini kayaknya EDG pas awal-awalan PRX tuh masih ngelawan maju-maju kayak agresif juga nggak sih? Dan makin sekarang kayak pengen ngebaca PRX deh. Kayak mereka ntar maju-maju, makanya dari tadi pas defense ngehold, flank pelan-pelan, tapi tetap mati. Iya, malah habis. PRX jadi enak dapat ruang, Cok.
There hasn't been upset potential, I think, on maps where we
Dia ngehold tapi ninggalin Cok beberapa tempat gitu.
That's super true.
Emang harus nge-press juga.
3-11
Yeah, and the form, I mean, form is hitting, the players are hitting.
Dia kalau lawan tim lain kuat loh.
Iya, makanya ini kayaknya sini kayak gara-gara kalah sama PRX dulu kan. Ini PRX sekarang mainnya gini nih kayaknya. Kita coba tungguin nonton dari yang sebelumnya. Salah strategi.
Salah PRX kalau mulu ini. Kasian dari Cina ya.
Yeah.
Berarti Cina EDG loh.
Trace malah yang lolos 2-0.
Iya.
Ngalahin Leviathan sama Vitality.
They're also heading into the maw.
This is PRX of a stack ready to receive. Open arms, 2 shots all it takes.
Padahal pas lawan G2 kemarin kan ini ya, sengit banget ya.
Star player of EDG.
Iya makanya.
Head-to-head
Ada
clash
Xbox-nya
in the
juga lagi ya
back
kemarin kalau nggak salah.
something.
Iya kalau nggak salah
Ada,
iya,
gue lupa.
kayaknya ada deh.
Itu ada nih.
Shot and broken away. Jing has not revealed his position at all in the
Wah,
slightest.
EDG kuat nih kayaknya.
Tuh, emang natural so ini ya.
Ripping their hopes and dreams up.
Waduh.
Kayak no hope gitu loh. Tuh.
Wah.
It's 12 for
Emang nggak bisa nih
PRX.
mainnya kayak gitu.
One more step. So all they have to take
Udah kuat banget
to
coba.
seal up the map.
Kayak bangkit dari kubur anjing. Habis kalah 2-0 sama G2. Dibantai.
Now they're confident as well.
Oh, kalau PRX tuh kelemahannya tim-tim Eropa yang mainnya bagus pelan gitu. Kalau Asia mainnya pelan aneh kan.
Willing everybody else on his team
Iya.
forward to play off him.
Ngapain dia?
I think that's a noisy EDG
Si
fan to make as well.
Uncle David.
It's me when I spot a spider in the bathroom. just a squeak. Any
Nih,
sense of
biasa thrifty nih.
masculinity out the window. If I had it already, but here it is, PRX.
Pick.
Wah, gelo anjing.
Lighten him up, man. And he's sharp, he's locked in, you can tell, man.
Wah,
the way
ini
he's
sih-
snap into these angles.
Ini
Snap
samping
back,
juga dari tadi,
fill.
Cok.
Emang lagi dibangkitkan anjing
And a deep
iniannya,
push from
kekuatannya.
PRX shows all the confidence in the world. They've already taken
Something lagi
B
menyala
main
banget,
control.
anjing.
They are putting the squeeze on EDG. They're looking to end this
Emang gila.
entire map here and now.
Di ulti nih,
Hunter's
maaf
Fury
second.
pushes them through. It's straight up the gut, in through mid. So much
Habis
uncertainty. You
sudah.
cannot stand your ground. 13-3. It's domination.
Respect, Cok.
It's a sweep and a
Flawless,
flawless
anjing.
finish for Icebox.
Kalau tim
PRX
Asia paling gigi
absolutely
dia anjing.
crushed EDG in
Ada
front of
yang bisa
their
ngalahin.
home crowd at Shanghai.
Sumpah nih,
It looks like
bangkit
that
dari kubur
4-1
anjing Bun.
record is just going to continue. That was domination.
Emang kocak
And a
ya.
scary PRX heading in to that second map of Sunset. What hope the EDG even have?
Trial to the super hour, the super power. Mute.
Berarti ntar Trash sama Leviathan ya yang ini.
Iya yang lolos.
Lolos.
Oh, gini.
Terus ini paling G2 sampai PRX.
Harusnya ya kalau udah dilihat dari skor awal sih harusnya PRX.
Iya.
Nih, mana ya? Tuh, 2-1 lu padahal. Tuh,
Iya nih.
11 lu lawan G2. Coba PRX.
38-11.
Nih, pas PRX.
Buset.
8 sama 9 doang.
Cuma gak jelas, Cok.
Yang ini juga emang
Coba tuh yang Trash. Plus berapa dia dah? 70-61 plus 9.
teliti
Dia langsung menang-menang, Cok, respect.
overtime. Pasangan Viatan.
Ini jangan-jangan Trash ini nih.
Kalah di
Timnas bumi.
Sunset. Kalah di Sunset inian nih berarti nih Trash band Sunset gak sih? Gak bisa main Sunset kayaknya. Ini kalah di mana? Nah, kan di Sunset lagi kalahnya. Udah Trash gak bisa main Sunset, coy, harus di-ban berarti.
Iya. Tapi kalau si PRX map poolnya dikit banget dah. Cuma apa ya?
Sunset.
Icebox. Iya, Mbak Icebox Sunset. Tapi Icebox masih kalah sama Derek.
Iya. Kayak udah lebih improve gak sih? Tadi mainnya bagus, rapi. Tapi nggak tahu sih kalau Derek.
Gantung lawan.
Kalau di hold
Derek
banget kayak pas
squad
lawan G2 juga kan di hold banget tuh. Masuk kecuali Katu.
Derek menang mulu ya? Oh iya menang.
2-0. Infonatik 2-0. Respect, Cok.
Billy-Billy. Billy-Billy gimana nih? Padahal bandelnya bagus.
Ini 2-0-in Sentinel di 2-0-in balik. Janjinya
Iya.
ini deh.
Padahal kemarin ini loh si Texter udah oke banget. Kok kalah ya? Heran gue.
Di Lotus sama Icebox.
Pas
Pasti
di
ini
Icebox
apa?
tuh.
Heaven Ascent. Pasti di band nih Heaven sama Ascent. Coba kita lihat. Band map foto coba. Band Sunset sama Ascent.
Iya, Asen.
Kenapa nggak ngepick inian aja ya, Heaven aja ya?
Udah lama kali nggak mainin.
Padahal dia di Heaven menang loh. Tuh lumayan juga 13-3.
Mau counter.
Habis bind.
Habis.
Berapa lama sih? Istirahatnya biasanya 15 menitan gak sih? Ngapain ya?
Emang iya. Nggak selama itu gak sih?
Iya sih kayaknya 10 kali ya.
Istirahat dulu Uncle
Iya
David.
aja. Modet Wooting. Tuh lu beli Wooting
Hey,
terus
what's up
di
guys?
mod.
Jakey here. So this
Bisa yang banget itu. Puting harga di ini goreng sekarang.
Berapa?
Ada yang jual 6 juta, 8 juta, harga asli 4, berapa gitu.
Iya, 4, nih diganti casing sama keycaps. Ini juga di ini anjing diganti. Switch-nya bukannya bawaan dari Wooting ya, harus bawaan dari Wooting nggak sih yang magnet?
Apa itu juga?
Nggak tahu deh. Sama aja dong kalau misalkan inian, kalau nggak ada magnetnya.
Looks like 5 screws I'm going to take out so that I can actually take the PCB and the plate out. But I'm also going to re-grease my stabilizers with some super lube. This is
Super lube.
So I just removed those.
Dia diganti.
And then re-grease them. Okay, so this is the stabilizer for the space.
Diganti.
If you run the RGB lights on your keyboard, then obviously
Sama kali.
you want to install
Coba.
the north
Iya
facing.
kali
I
harusnya.
actually compared the lubing on these. I held them up to
Diganti casing ke casing
Just on
apa nih?
the- get a little like pour-on foam, which again I'm not going to be using this one. I'm going to be using the one that comes
Tofu.
with the Wooding. And we have the actual case. Wow, this is very hefty. It's going to be even heavier.
Emang bagus sih
The,
bentuknya.
I was debating either between
casing.
this, like this, the E-white, or the
Ituannya frame-nya.
silver. But I'm
Kotak
glad I
tuh,
got
kotak.
the white. It
Kotak
looks like
tajam-tajam.
green.
Bagus deh.
And the
Gelap.
USB port, we actually have to switch this over to the W. I don't know if you can. Okay, there we go. That's it. there.
Pemberatnya.
I still have like
Assembly.
doesn't really matter as long as that PCB isn't going anywhere. Either screw works. Now for the final part, we just gotta put some keycaps on here and we're good to go. Okay, time to put the keycaps
Dia temanya putih semua.
here.
Tapi jadi keren sih.
Completely modded Wooding 60 AG. The sound test is gonna be after this at the end of the video. But I'm gonna give my thoughts on it so far.
Sound test-nya dong.
And honestly,
Enak nih
like I said, I was
biasanya.
modding-
Oh ini before. Suara original Wooting.
Beda sama keyboard gue.
Keretak. Masih ada iniannya. Coba pas udah dimodif. Ini pro player gamer mah mana peduli anjing. Sama suara, yang penting performa.
Suara. Mana nih? Jadi gimana nih?
Jadi enak nih harusnya.
Jadi mendelep doang kan nih suaranya?
Iya mendelep, agak mendelep.
Enakan biasa cok. Yang awal. Kan kalau kayak gini nggak kelihatan ya Wootingnya.
Harus lu modif dulu sini Wooting gitu. Ditulis.
Ada kasih nama.
Iya.
Spidol.
Wooting modifan.
Iya.
Bah, mana ya? Gue tuh nonton biasanya Axolotl. Ah bukan anjing. Ada gini. Apa sih namanya gue nggak tahu anjing. Namanya dia
Axolotl mah ini ikan.
Alexotos anjing.
Axolotl.
Alexotos.
Axolotl ini.
Nah, ini dia bikin keyboard bagus-bagus bun. Mana ya? Anjing ini apaan, Cok? Bagus banget casingnya dah.
This is gorgeous.
Anjing.
This is so pretty. And you can tell they put a lot
Keren,
of work
Bun.
into this. The Margo is beautiful. This has to be one of KB's
dijual ini ya?
prettiest keyboards. Shell gas station.
Dijual, cuman kalau di Indo susah pasti dapatnya.
But this definitely has to be one of their prettiest
Keyboard
keyboards.
full keyboard
Straight
itu apa
hands
casing
down, I don't think they've made a
Casing
better looking
buat
keyboard.
orang-orang
The price
hobi
point is
keyboard,
on the back.
pada
Look
suka
good.
custom
And
keyboard
same
tuh.
thing with the side of
Bagus
it
sih.
here. Got that premium keyboard designs, like even just picking up great designers like the Pavlov.
Loop,
Forgiving films out of all the
switch.
films I've tried. Now comes the difficult
orang
part.
kayak gini kan keyboard full cuma
I think I know
satu
why.
ya.
I don't know if you guys want to see a modding stream, but it helped like 20%. Force
Enak nih biasanya nih suara nih.
Try top gas are here.
Biasanya dia enak-enak
Maybe we go
suara.
just back to the Obscura, or we go with an HMX switch. Let's we can do 2 more space bars here. It's a beautiful looking
Banyak
keyboard.
banget nih keyboard
but
tadi nih. Ada ini. Ini kayak tak. Soalnya casingnya aluminium sih, jadi suaranya.
Obscura is definitely better.
Anjing. Temen gue pernah ngemot kayak gitu, kagak ini anjing keyboardnya, kagak fungsi abis itu.
Nice.
Foamnya ketebelan, Cok.
Iya, mau ketebelan. Ini kan gua mod dikit-dikit juga gua kasih foam keyboard gua.
Oh iya.
Gue cuma ngasih foam doang, gue pengen ganti switch. Tapi satu switchnya
Switch
harganya 4.000.
Coklat.
Dikali 60, 4.000 kali 60 berapa tuh? 240 anjing.
Atau enggak lu ganti aja yang ini, yang apa? WSD terus yang
Iya.
penting QAR enter lagi.
Beli
Escape.
keycaps. Ini ada yang koi. Sabar kita lihat dulu. Salah ini. Oh, udah siap-siap mau main. Gue mau lihat dulu satu yang mana ya. Yang kayaknya bagus. Coba yang ini tadi ada nih. Kayak jadul-jadul gitu.
We're doing the game 1989 TKL filmed. No, these are just they're film
Mana bang
styles.
keyboardnya?
These will
Kayak jadul-jadul gitu. Nah,
I really like this. This board looks
Suara,
really
Bang?
cool actually. I don't
coba suara. Wih,
This sounds weird.
wah enak ini.
Ada banyak.
Iya nih.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take these switches out and use them in another build for sure. So this is just the PE foam. I didn't use any other foams. PE is pretty in your face with, different sound signatures. I did use cherry clip-ins for this for stabilizers. And these are using the 1989 game switches.
Coba ngetik bang. Bah, pasti juga enak lagi.
Tik.
Tik.
Mereka kalau kayak gini kenapa nggak dijual-jualin aja kayak lebih mahal ini.
Spacebar is not my
Kali
favorite.
5 kali lebih mahal ini.
Iya, dia beli misalkan 5 juta. Dia yang rakitin jadi 6, 7 gitu.
Untung 10, 8, 9. Puting gitu.
Oh ya dijual mahal cok. Bisnis. Oke, kita tonton sunsetnya guys.
Contact peak. It could easily be a hold that then becomes a push to
Wah,
try to find the
udah
lurker
di-pick
as
tuh.
well. They've got multiple
Berapa
options here,
berempat
depending on the
anjing.
pacing. They
Di
know
mid.
that EDG 4-1 all the time.
Yeah, the old
Shishu
ketahuan ya.
lurks.
Ya.
quadruple high-low.
Bang
Get
udah
past
bang,
that.
ke abang.
Udah ketahuan gak sih apa belum?
Start moving together.
Respect coba break ini siapa
I
yang
said
start
earlier, there's nothing
tahu nih.
scary than
Pasti for second.
Biasanya for second kalau ngecall tuh.
barely
Just
allowed.
around.
Kalau
Still
awal
being
for
rammed
second.
down here with the fault line still.
Ah,
There's that
respect
pressure
cok.
applied
Apalagi
to
gue
him.
udah ketahuan banget.
No bodies though
Kalau for
chasing
second,
him. It's EDG
commit.
recognizing that, and they're gonna make sure
Let's
that
go
they
mid,
take
let's go
space
mid.
over towards
Stack
this A
mid.
site. Nobody has the spike though. They can't even get themselves on to plant this one. And
Hey,
What?
fast fight
hey,
into
hey,
the fray.
Wait.
A skirmish taken.
Hidup cuy.
Wow, nice.
It's raining today.
Wah gini.
They didn't even let the plant get
God
close to going down.
almighty.
That's pretty perfect.
Wow.
In terms of an anti there, flush
Cicu
Chishu
sini,
out, make sure
Cicu.
that he can't have impact in the
Cicu
round.
lagi
He'll
menyala,
attempt
Cicu.
to win the 1v4,
Wah,
but
ente.
you got no chance in that kind of position.
Nice.
They pushed Chishu so
Nice
far
PRX,
back, he will
EDG.
never get that timing to lurk behind them before PRX have initiated the retake. And even so, they fight the pre-take before the plant is even close. Like
Yeah.
you said, it was on nobody,
Tas.
and he was bringing bringing it in way later than the rest of the team.
Wow, gila,
That is a
dapat
beautiful
gokil.
pistol to run against a team that likes to 4-1 all the time.
Samping cok.
And you
Samping
look
kalau
at
pakai gecko gue ngeri-ngeri deh.
this
Kadang
map,
ini
I
down
know
anjing deh.
as the agents were being
Kadang
selected there
iya.
and we were going into sunset, everyone could see
Agak
the stats,
nyala kayak
the
digit
recent
tuh.
stats anyway, of EDG being on a 3-map win streak.
Iya,
for Sunset.
tungguin.
But the one right before that, they lost to PRX in Shanghai,
Push mid all.
6-13. And that was what forced EDG to
Kawan
make
gak
the
sih
shift
mid?
over to playing the Team Heretics comp.
Tinggal ada.
EDG might just be stunted and stopped in their tracks once more.
Oh iya, Kangkang pakai inian ya, pakai neon. Biasanya kan pakai raja di sini deh.
Fight to be taken. It's a double flash and a swing.
Pakai komnya tim heretik anjing.
Players dropped in their place.
Nice.
PRX 3 do survive into it, so going to be able to get
Terus si
themselves a nice
something
and
ngapain
healthy
loncat sih?
bonus.
Yeah, not bad by any means.
Ini ada yang mau serip, give me serip.
EDG, even if they get into post-plant positions, they're going to have to be playing aggressive.
Tahu ya
You just can't fall back into those standard busted post-plant
Ilya, serif
spots
Ilya.
when the defending
Where,
team is running
JJ, where?
a wall that can block you off, and then Wingman that hops on, and then they all push forwards, apart from the diffuser. It's really difficult. EDG are going to have to be pushing in post-plant, setting up aggressively, crossfires on sight. It's tough. It's so tough playing against PRX on this map, as their last 12 wins in a row should indicate.
Sunburn, judge in hand.
Jing know something.
Doubled up. I feel like there's so much danger just drifting over towards this A side. The cam's removed. PRX do not shy away from a fight. But the slow play by EDG. Looking to reap the rewards from this.
Timing.
Smoggy.
For second tahu dong.
Timing.
Barely a
Cepat
shot
timing
beaten
banget.
out, but now heads turned
Stay
away.
there. Aduh.
Barely
Aduh,
missing it.
ditembak lagi. Ya. Ditembak lagi.
Iya.
Ken, itu tungguin gitu, maju pelan-pelan lagi kan bisa ya?
Still with a minute of
Tuh kan
time to
balik lagi
play,
ya.
work with.
Kan
They can take their
ketahuan.
time with this one.
I have Vandal mid.
The more risks that
Yeah, I will
PRX
take it.
themselves are gonna take. Devi's getting a pretty good idea right now that EDG are still
Take
locked
Vandal,
into
bro.
place towards the B side.
Oh my god.
5 Vandal 5. Yeah, wait, I check first ah.
Mind freak, not
Oh, yeah, yeah.
cleared.
Yep, steadies his hand as well. Just leaves it fully open towards the back of the
Okay,
side.
okay.
Just gives that one up.
Udah
because
ngecek.
He's not being cleared and patience fully paying off potentially.
No wave kah?
There, this guy
Sumpah.
holds it down.
Ya,
The bulldog
Dapat 2 lah.
squirrels it away and just grabs 2 kills before he's eventually
Terlalu
traded
banyak
down.
target dia bingung deh.
Iya, too
So
much
right into the
target.
round here for PRX. Dizzy up and over through the window, but no connection, no acknowledgement. Devi is there. Lovely movement from Kang Kang.
Jangan tembak dulu.
Sidesteps the bullets.
Dah.
Kanan patah.
Bilangin, Cak, kanan patah, Cak.
Stair 3 di situ. Stair, depan lu.
I think the gun differential has made a big
Iya, agak
difference in
kanan
this
dikit
round.
maksud gua.
Something's kind of stuck.
Dia gak nge-save.
Don't really want
Ambil
to be
pandal di
saying
mid.
the judge either. I think it's kind of similar with Mind Freak.
Ambil pandal di mid nggak sih?
Kayak majuin. Dimajuin coba sama Kangkang.
Could have gotten 3
Kangkang
there
respect
rather
deh
than
gue sama
2
Kangkang.
in that kind of position. Oh, more damage done.
Respect sama Kangkang, Cok.
Dapat pandal.
Yep, nice little surprise.
Good and economic impact there from
Kangkang pinter
PRX,
banget
but
Kangkang.
around on the
Dimajuin
board
Kangkang.
fairly early on. Already almost as many as they got in the
Iya tadi
entirety of
map
Icebox.
ini ya map EDG
Hoping
ya.
for an
Xbox ya.
extraordinarily different result here.
Ini dia. Kata Maverick nama mati.
Eh,
Banyak banget, banyak banget.
sniper nih.
None of them
Duh.
thought at all. But the thing is, once
Oh,
Ya,
betul.
kening doang.
1 or 2 people have gone in, the others just don't even
Dia
think
lupa
to
kali
chase
pakai
spots
ini
like
ya.
that, because
Pakai apa namanya?
why didn't the people at the front do it?
Bulldog.
Exactly, and also, I mean,
It would have been clear.
fired earlier.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Devi. He's got the operator in his hands.
Of course he does.
There's a lot of players that might be facing him here. Tripled up, tagged up by the knife.
Well, if I tagged Devi, I wouldn't expect an op. Maybe for something, if I tagged the Gecko,
Dapat,
I might
ya.
be thinking op.
Yang pikan.
My ult's ready. Langsung here comes the party.
Showstopper now into this round.
Right here.
It's got to be clean from EDG.
Yeah, they really need this. Credits on Kangkang, Nobody, and Smoggy. All really low. I guess Kangkang could
Oh iya, for second juga ganti tuh ke bridge.
with the
Tadi kan
others
inian.
on the side,
Keo.
Oh,
but would not be pretty.
Oh iya.
Ganti-ganti sih, kadang Keo,
Showstopper's
kadang
quickly
bridge.
making its way over
Yeah.
to be
Yang
responded
kemarin
to that
Keo
shot.
kayak deh.
picking up a little bit
Flexnya
of
terlalu
a
flex
potential
nih.
lurk play through mid.
Coba lihat dulu.
Jing is here.
Penasaran.
This is where the
Sound
spike is
food.
Kalau
going.
dijual ini loh.
Ah, tuh kan?
Worried as
Enggak,
well.
bridge ternyata.
Holding down towards the B side when drone was used
Iya
prior.
di mana ya kayak gue?
Right,
Di
towards the back stuns
bis.
as well. Here's a showstopper, an instant response. Flashed up though, Jing.
Jing
He's
kamu ngapain
blind as a
Jing?
bat. Had to let loose there with the ult. No
Oke, nggak apa-apa.
casualties,
Seenggaknya
like
abis
40
ulti
here by
mundur ke
EDG,
belakang lah
but
bareng sama tim.
might just end up falling
Nggak maju.
anyway. Shots
Wah, kok
missed.
miss anjing?
EDG, the feed is filled up with red. Making sure to grasp these chances. Jing still managed to slip his way in through the
Whoa!
back. Sharp as anything. Precision
Granat.
is on display and time now against EDG. It was looking like them to take this one. Oh my god, backs are just opened up to these players. Jing
Wait
trying to get his
bro.
way around and 2-2 covers.
Per second.
Bizarre, some of the moments in that round. Really bizarre.
Second nggak sabaran
Do like the
coy.
call from EDG to go for a re-hit. As soon as the showstopper was baited out by that high flash.
Kok Kangka nggak pakai inian, biasanya dia pakai ituan tangan kanannya.
Back through.
Pakai
Pakai tap
Forsaken,
sama
Yeah.
inian.
I think he just didn't
Tadi
hear
dia pakai loh.
Chichu
Yang pas
barreling
ini.
back towards him,
Dilepas
throwing
kah?
cages at his back and all sorts.
In the chaos of the situation.
If Forsaken had just taken a breath there and turned back around to deal with the lurker, maybe that's a different round, but EDG will be super happy to get that one on board. Big eco swing round going the way of the Chinese org.
PRX are going to try and take this round of a bit of proactivity on their half pipe.
Jadi bocok. Belum maju
Vacuum up
dia.
the orb, see if they can get a cheeky kill. They show presence, they back away now looking for the stack into mid, and I think the signs of a really great team at events
Respect.
when they're trying to really extract every efficiency out of even
Yeah.
halfway rounds. Forsaken with the peak will be punished. He was trying to grab that information. The rest of his team. So an open sight here for EDG.
Forsaken not using his aftershock to break the trip over towards A main, so PRX keep walking down mid and taking some tiles control, but they can never flank in the retake because that trip's always going to give it away. They might try it at some point in this half, but it will be watched.
Oh, that's lovely control. Kind of holding the line towards the back of the site, ensuring that nobody can cross past that boundary. Even hunting more players down.
Mantap.
Hello.
Ooh.
Picking up guns.
Yeah, this kind of damage is not great for EDG. This should have been their round to get the economy blooming.
They'll still take the round, of course. PRX will be happy with the rifles.
And it's not too much damage. EDG players can still buy. It's not a big issue. So they take
Duar.
the lead. Exactly what EDG were looking for early on here. Of course, they'd have loved the pistol round as well. But in terms of getting themselves cemented, shaking off all of the horrors of Icebox and leaving it like a bad dream behind them in the past, they've now secured as many rounds as they did in the entirety of that map one. And the players, I think you can see
Easy
that
for
from
PRX.
Kangkang's perspective, they're looking
Kayak
really
2-1
sharp
dia ini kayak
themselves.
EDG dia menang deh.
Yeah, they bounced back nicely.
Yeah, he was just farming the
Nah,
ecos there. He's
belum,
got to
2-0.
do that with rifles online as well.
That's the round we're going to be watching here. Round 6.
Mungkinkah?
Equalize a little bit. Kangkang is
Karena mereka-
stepping up to that challenge. Divide. Sounds about there. He had Mindfreak by his side.
Look,
That's
apa ya?
Command going into the
Yang pakai
B
ini.
split. This is putting the squeeze on the
Bukan
Mindfreak. Look at him head on a swivel.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah.
know really which way to
Betul,
look.
betul.
But still tucked to the corner.
Waduh.
Could be trying to strike straight
Wah,
back. But
dapet.
EDG got that discipline and awareness.
Kiri,
Was there
kiri,
for
kiri,
it.
kiri.
Or busted and broken
What the
down.
fuck?
But Chuchu's there holding the cross. Making sure to chop up these angles.
Abis ini Alex timeout nih.
Cleared away for PRX.
Timeout nih abis ini.
Anything going for them, but
Mainnya udah nggak jelas kan? Udah, wah udah berantakan nih timeout.
Sharp shooting from
Something lebih nggak
EDG,
jelas anjing.
but badly
Sabarin
synced
nggak
up
sabarin.
in terms of how they were fighting into market. Something
Buru-buru
way
banget kayaknya ya,
ahead
baru di plan
of
padahal.
Jing and Forsaken miles behind. The spacing could not have been poorer.
Timeout udah.
Gifted with a slightly easier cleanup, but the open was lovely. They can't do that all the time, of course. The Null Command, massive ultimate. But utilized well to keep this lead going and to break the economy of PRX, unless they choose to go to
Maju
force
lagi.
around this safe
Maju lagi
battle.
Forsaken.
I'm not so sure
Forsaken!
it's gonna be saved.
Oh, I mean, it will. Oh. Fault line to slow them.
He got none of that!
Hey, man!
He just moonwalked out of there!
That's ridiculous.
What
Houdini
the
level
fuck?
plays.
He's been learning from something. That was the some swing to save.
Nah kan bener.
The save swing.
Timeout.
They might be able to buy up around that
Yeah,
one.
they absolutely can buy up now. they had two players that could comfortably fly, and then
Soalnya
another two
kemarin
that were
tadi
scrapping it together.
berarti
Plus
lompat
that
deh.
saved
Kan bener kan?
weapon.
Nggak jelas.
Easy stuff.
Yeah. Off the back of that round, with EDG winning it.
How has Forsaken got such a powerful aura that they don't even shoot at them?
I don't know.
I need to get that in my rank games.
They just weren't expecting them there, I'm not too sure. But this is 4 in a row now for EDG to get us back on track here with the game at hand. And we said, you know, we're going to need to see that strong opening from EDG themselves on a map that we were kind of just raring to go to sing the praises of PRX on as a potential slam dunk 2-0 finish here. But they are showing those signs of life. They've shown that they will pick themselves back up when they
Lihat
get
Alexa dong.
A really important asset.
The G in Smoggy is for good.
What does the second G stand for?
Goat.
Ditutupin bun mukanya bun, cakep kayak itu bun.
Smog goat goatee.
Ini cuy hidden gem. Cewek Smoggy.
Hidden gem VCT iya kayaknya.
Are in a bit of a tough spot here. They haven't been able
Hidden
to play
gem
their
EDG.
game really. They've been looking to try to set up these big retake scenarios where EDG are in more passive spots, and they've been looking to try to take fights through mid. But ever since the pistol round, Jishu's been extremely cautious.
Yeah.
He hasn't been taking very much of that space in mid.
Gue baru tahu tuh champion
unless
Seoul
the whole team is splitting.
Aegis first 25.
EDG are showing really good signs
Baru tahu
that
nih.
they understand how to control the tempo.
Emang udah champion deh sekarang ya? Gue kira master loh.
Yeah, and they're also
Champion cok.
showing, I think,
Gara-gara warnanya ungu ya temanya ya.
take this map.
Iya nih.
Denying it from them.
Kayak
champion
master.
nih.
Panggungnya juga nggak segede pas DLE, nggak ini ya. Kalau DLE kayak kan
Gede banget tuh.
walaupun group stage juga udah gede banget.
Follow up on any of these kind of trap plays.
Tapi ntar ini
pindah
di
stage kali ya?
playoff ntar pindah bun.
Oh pindah.
Ke stadium dia apa kemana ya?
But again, like you said, it's very difficult to follow up on any of this unless nobody, Chichu, are willing to give them the fight for it.
Coba ntar abis ron ini lihat ini.
Ini berarti PRX harus menang nih kalau main stadion.
You know, you're putting another stall into it for the attacking team.
Ada inian ya, yang cheerleader.
Iya. Siapa tahu bisa request ya nih.
Entet. Waduh udah. Nice kill. Ya gue.
Astaga.
Wow.
Comes to his rescue. PRX willing to try and fight over this one. They don't want to give up this territory.
Panik cow somethingnya. Dar, mampus. Lo ini.
Here at least it should have been looking like it, but PRX they just swarm into the site.
It's an absurd spot to go for a thrash.
Something. Oh, I will. What the fuck?
Playing against a neon. Just run you down at any moment.
Aduh.
Thrash time in perfect.
Udah.
Kaget tuh first second tuh lagi jalan. DCT. 1, 2, 3, mati. Mati main breaknya maksudnya.
Cico, tapi masih Cico ini sih.
So he was one away from the start of the round.
Kita lihat di sini bun. Arena ding, bukan ini.
Unless you have the ult. But he used it to get the ult. He used that B main control really importantly to be able to come in here and help out something.
Oh ini bun.
Two massive ultimates used though, and PRX
biasanya dipakai buat mama MMA.
Oh MMA.
Tuh, lumayan sih.
Oh,
gede sih.
Lumayan. Segitu ya? Segitu lumayan.
Emang segini ya? Oke, lebih gede. Yang ini lebih gede. Oh, ini ada bangku tambahan nggak sih di bawah sini nih? Nggak tahu lah.
Iya kan bisa tambah-tambahin. Gitu. Main cuy, rame.
Main sih.
Korea lagi.
Kalau sekarang yang ini, ayo. Udah selesai tiba-tiba.
Oh, oh iya, iya.
Yeah, and I don't know why EDG rushed into trying to take that fight through A main precisely. They've been playing these slow defaults and they've been working out a lot.
Anjing pakai booting.
They haven't really been going for that fast elbow control too much.
Pakai inian bun, Razer yang baru tuh, yang kanan kirinya kencang banget. Lebih dari booting itu. Tapi booting kayak udah bikin juga dah. Ada.
Keyboard juga. Apaan dah?
Apa ya waktu itu dikasih tahu Dapi. Jadi kanan kirinya kencang banget main overworld. Kanan kirinya nggak jelas. DJ masih ada nggak sih? Tadi bukan ada DJ. Masih ada.
Aduh, main free.
goodness me, adjustment just spotting it.
Revamp.
Line though, so Divide will quickly be able to offset any of the disadvantages that came about from that.
But now, because of the TikTok wall, Divide doesn't have it for the retake. So if EDG get the plant,
Ya, kena flash. Udah jing. Ya, ilah jing.
Will be toppled.
Dapai.
You can plant and play a B main post plant. Normally you have to play aggressive, but with that wall gone, you can back up.
3v3, winnable.
That's a huge advantage for EDG.
I'll happily play for that one. Nobody's also got that ult in his back pocket. It's an extra layer of
safety.
safety.
Sekarang gue udah jarang lihat dia pakai ini ya, apa? Yang sama player pakai
flying forward, just trying to catch the line. Ensure he doesn't miss any second of it. Attack. There's the ult. Paranoia from Smoggy. Meant to supplement here. Mindfreak out into the open.
Satu kanan.
Time start to run short. Mindfreak trying to hold this line as well, ensuring that they can try and get this defuse online. Something with the wingman broken.
Wingman.
Device leaping into the frame. Reload. Summon upstream. Something's
Let's go. What the fuck?
Entirely.
Very good, Dapai, Uncle David.
What a fumble from EDG there. PRX, that's the game they want to play. They're so practiced in those retake scenarios, but they didn't even have the Sage Wall to work with. You very, very rarely see multiple players in B main both desperately trying to slam the clip back into their gun, so they have enough ammunition to work with to spam.
There it is.
Kira-kira siapa nih?
Waiting for that. It's like we played a last track in the audience.
Siapa ya?
Siapa ya kira-kira ya?
I'm not even sure what that was in reference to.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, maybe the wall.
What is he doing?
Possibly. It might be because of that.
Siapa ya?
Siapa kira-kira nih?
You sometimes pull things from prior rounds, but PRX
Oh, ini Mindfreak kali ya?
Yang tadi naik itu ya?
Iya, naik.
But that is yeah, that's a round.
Abis itu abis lihat iniannya Dapai nge-clutch loncat-loncat kayak gitu. Ini juga. What is he doing? Ada dua. What is he doing?
Sama anjing. Itu banyak petis pertama.
Yang satu what is he doing-nya yang kalah, satu lagi yang menang.
Satu ngejek, satu ini cuy. Appreciate aja. Satu taunting.
Gila, sensor kencang banget something deh. Muter-muter kayak gitu kencang banget.
Pasnya dia 0,1 deh. 800 ya nih.
Gila, 800 0,1.
Tangannya kenceng.
It's another opportunity where they could try to run this trap play. But again, if Forsaken ults this, I'm not sure you can follow up that easily. Gonna go for a bit of aggro control. Remember, PRX can occasionally
ngambil ult ternyata, gue kira mau majuin.
on top of that box and, you know, peek into mid.
Yeah.
We've seen them do all
Udah
sorts of weird
suzon,
stuff. So
gua.
EDG have to be careful.
They do like to cook. Jing. Drone's been broken. Kang expected the swing.
Ngapain
Suspicious,
ngepick ya?
I think, when the
Jing ya?
drone gets broken in that regard.
Pasti lagi nih. What is he doing?
An easy book, a young adult
Something
novel.
nih, something.
What is he doing, Fitri?
Easily digestible. What is going on with this all? Okay, rolling thunder.
These are the kind of plays. These are the kind of plays I hate from PRX, though. That is just such a waste of an ultimate.
Smelling a timeout being called from PRX's side,
which makes no sense because they've won 3 in a row.
But just to rein it in, get a bit of discipline back into the ranks. Forsaken. Got walkabouts here. Potential to be punished. No. Now the reaction. EDG.
Nice.
Alongside it, Divide. Can hear these footsteps. Many circulating all around him.
Nice.
Lovely adjustment of the rifle.
What is he doing though? What is he doing?
Blinds it up. No noise cues. Nobody able to follow up on this one though with a soul.
Aduh, timingnya.
Precisely the wrong moment in EDG. Making sure that they capitalize directly on top of that one.
Pick terus.
Timingnya
2 versus 3. Mindfreak and Forsaken. Onto this retake. Forsaken dropping. Leaves it down to just Mindfreak. Spotted Simon's positioning. TP into the corner, stray bullets from nobody. It's precarious and now unwinnable. As I say that, he's found himself a corridor, a window, but peeking the smoke. Nobody just hugging tight to the corner.
Oh, ini hard game nih.
A little sloppy there from PRX. taking their foot off the gas maybe slightly, or just not prioritizing perhaps the big tools that they had to be able to win the round.
That's an insane play with the rolling punch.
Yeah, they wanted B main info. I guess they thought that there were going to be some EDG players over there. And Divide did a decent job at staying alive in elbow. He just got caught at the final moment. A couple of duels got the way of EDG, and they're looking nice for it. We see the Gecko operator picked up over towards B main. And this is an area of the map PRX have put huge value on.
And he's hit it. Nails the shot. Nobody's going to be dropping straight to the floor. Jingle exploration set up by any form of utility.
Expecting EDG to be running those 4-1 defaults that I'm talking about. Actually, EDG always more spread than usual today.
Little 2-3s. And a slower play of EDG. As I said earlier, it's what got them that string of 4 rounds prior. Paranoia now as they bide their time, wait it out, now send it forwards with the war, but it's something.
Aduh, nggak dapat.
Wanted to try and play himself inside of this. What adjustment by Kang. Snaps it 90 degrees to the side. And now, huge player advantage.
Mindfreak teleported past the first trip. He would be hurt if he went for it here.
Yeah, he would, definitely. Something's got to pray that somebody will just walk into his sight line, crosshair placement. Trip's going to be broken off of that noise cue. The call hasn't been made. Wait, there's a back.
Hey, kiri lo!
Back to back!
Hey, what the fuck?
Finds it finally with the kill. Now there's a Paranoia.
What the fuck?
An attempt to play them back in, but a flash in kind. EDG stalling out. These PRX players just fall long enough, and Kang squares up. Wants more to that challenge. That's 3 in a round for him. Something Seoul job now just to try and save on to this operator.
And he's going to be keeping it into round 12.
What?
Is he?
Wait, kaget gue.
Yeah, he's just survived with it. EDG find another round, take the lead again, up 6-5. But I'm reminded of what Steele was talking about on the desk of looking like there were comms issues there for EDG. As soon as that trip was broken, Chishu should be aware there's somebody on the flank, and yet completely confused, didn't relay that over to Smoggy. Bizarre interaction.
Kedengaran suara ASMR dah ngunyah permen karet.
Good here for the final round.
Around this first half, Sunset, that's an open B site. Trying for the
Let's
take
go.
EDG. The knife
Let's go.
even better. Doesn't get broken, so they know that the front section of B is entirely theirs. I'll send in the usual utility just in case.
Jing's got that showstopper online.
That's going to have to be the ticket, I think, for a chance of PRX winning
Kang
this
PD,
round.
Kang PD.
And the share of fame.
He's really been trying to farm these orbs, and EDG have to play aggro, have to play on site.
They're straight up in through market. It's an aftershock and a slow orb as well. Kang is
Kang mati nggak sih? Ya.
isolated still, traded out. Head just
Masih
peeking over
dapat
Chichu.
satu,
He's still
iya.
alive here for the moment. Tethered himself into the corner of the site.
Nice.
The operator in the hands of something as a Thrash earns up now to Fish. Sent flying forwards, detainment then. It should be a kill. Collected indeed. It is! And any defense gets dismantled.
Good shit. Uncle David.
Beautiful retake.
When you're watching
From
what
Uncle.
happened on Icebox, a 13-3 map, you wouldn't have expected both teams to be dead even here, but that's exactly what's happened. EDG have woken up, PRX finding their moments to respond. We couldn't be more level at the half.
Yeah, it's just been unreal so far, living up to the expectations that we set on this matchup between two of these orgs that have so much damn history.
Uncle David.
Oh come on.
Trade in any phone in any condition and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6.
Coax Artium dong, mau lihat. Oh ini Coax Artium yang tadi ya. Yang gede.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Meme. Kimkura.
Yang gede tuh, oh yang gede yang ini Inspire. Coax.
Gue kucing lunter.
Oke. Copyright-nya nih lagunya. Copyright.
Berapa menit?
Tuh, 40 detik.
Bentar.
Wax Artium. Mana ini kah? Ini. Oh, iya ini. Oh iya ini tempat player datang set. Prox small. Let's go.
I think PRX fell out a coconut tree. They exist in the context of all the map wins that came before them. The 12 map streak.
What is blood waffling about?
They're on the attack side here. Their attack side looks deadly in a lot of these spots. Their execs onto site. The pistol's going to be vitally important.
Yeah.
Take flight.
At least just for giving you momentum and starting to build up to massive ultimates on both sides of the map.
Whiff.
PRX. No one holding this A main avenue. It's not going to be pushed by Kang, of course, with the one way in his face. Just looking to hold it. Nobody getting some information. Spotting the players now. Smoke's going to be cutting out of the picture from that one angle, and now call is made. They want to try and make a play now to the B split. Wall to give them safe passage. Be any spam going their way. Jing, Tavai, I should say, even just trying to get cheeky himself. There's smokes to be played in and out of. Jing is way ahead of it. It's a stun layer down and a flash on top of it with the paranoia blinded up. Dart is there. This is chaos. This is anarchy. At least for the time being, a player advances to be found. Device wrapping all the way from behind. But back are turned and EDG have lost the plot. They've lost track of all these players. They don't know which way to take it. Tavai has potentially worked on something 1v1.
Chill.
Right.
Kenapa?
Simon.
Yang klik kanan.
I called him the newcomer to this EDG squad, but he's done it again for them. He's been in these clutch scenarios over and over again.
When you're thinking about the way that PRX and EDG are going to battle against each other, these are the rounds you remember back to in their 5 matches previous. And this is what you imagine it's going to be like the entire time. It's just bonkers. EDG are going for a big retake, death balled up together, and PRX have got flanks on their flanks. They're looking around, how many shots were just into the back of people's heads there? Twisted and turned around, and yet EDG come out on top. Somehow able to control the chaos. Truly absurd.
Yeah, and a huge deal for EDG. A lot of teams will get lost in the mix of that, where PRX normally thrive. They've managed to take this pistol round now.
Ada lagi, Uncle.
That is not great.
Oke, mundur
The
dia.
only thing past that is taking a pistol. You need to clean it up past this point, especially because Kang's just gone down.
They also haven't retrieved that gun. Smoggy didn't feel comfortable enough going forwards there in case he was walking into the stack, so they've left that weapon on the floor. I'm not sure that Devi can necessarily know that. He hasn't re-peeked it, but he's calling the rest of PRX over to take this fight. Spectre still down, like a treasure to be gathered.
Sentinel oplek.
Pack mentality here from PRX.
Aduh, ini pas banget.
Is perfect though.
Aduh.
EDG have really make sure to pick and choose this timing.
Aduh.
It's excellent.
Mati.
Shot down.
Ace.
Got steal, bro.
The ace ripped away, but listen, eco kills at the end of the day. Nobody is 2 away now from the
Cuy,
odds.
itu flashnya
I did
sumpah.
say it needed to be cleaned up.
Pas
after that
banget.
point, and that was about as clean as you could get.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody had gotten the ace, he would only be 1 orb away from the ultimate. That's a really good ult for the defense side. So Smoggy doing a little bit of
Masih
trolling,
maju ini
but
udah kayak
that's
gitu ya?
okay.
All good.
Heran gue.
All good. They're gonna be happy with that, I think.
Yeah, very happy. EDG are looking great.
Aduh,
here.
lu ngentot lu anjing ya.
Economy heading
Bangsat lu
over.
Smoggy anjing.
Line up.
Es gue tuh bangsat. Gue gak pernah es di VCT katanya.
PRX need this one.
Pernah gak sih? Pernah kayak dia deh.
I guess it was
pernah ya?
12 in a row for them on Sunset.
Nobody kan. Dia nggak terlalu.
Easily beat EDG last time they played, but this time Chinese team giving them more to worry about.
Trip just buying that safety net. Nobody's right through the smoke as well.
What is that? Karena damage bomb sendiri.
Edging udah set di replace anjing.
Udah worst anjing.
Iya cok. Tuh astaga.
Udah nggak se-prime di champion tahun lalu anjing. Nggak sakit. Gara-gara rehat dulu sih mau wamil.
Iya, sesuatu wamil ya.
Mengambil ituan itu. Jadinya
ambil kecepatan monyet itu buat bersinar.
Alex is not happy about the way he's played that.
Immediate timeout.
Whereas things actually sound quite casual on the side of EDG. But if you compare map 1 to map 2, of course they would be. It's nowhere near as bad.
Driving seat. Could bring it to that map 3 of Lotus. So far so good. I mean, talking about these bonus round conversions, round wins, on the back of it, you just get so much momentum after this point. I mean, EDG have knocked down the economy of PRX. They're now going to be working down with those half buys. Not just that as well. You know, you think about how
gara-gara mau wamil terus jadinya langsung kayak wah gue mau wamil nih, gue harus siapin diri gue buat wamil. Jadi ya jago Valorantnya persentasenya menurun. Udah ngisi lama-lama kan, udah ngisi lama-lama disimbangin sama yang mau wamil. Nggak taunya nggak jadi. Ini baru ngisi lagi nih.
Iya.
So the fact that you get this snowball happening at the start of halves, it has ripple effects.
Jadi dia mau mindahin aim-nya dari Palo ke wamil. Makanya jadinya di Valorant aim-nya kurang. Masih belum 100% dipindahin dari aim wamil ke Palo lagi.
Got that potential always there, ready and waiting. There's a punish, Kang. EDG, they heard that all being tapped, and it wasn't quite a tap, it was a full committal. That is quite an overextension potentially there from nobody, but he uses the drone to clear this as well. Shock darts up and over something, peppered with the bullets, but still alive.
Something ngapain sih? Loncat mulu deh.
Ketagihan, Cok.
Scared, I think, when you open up mistakes or give up plays and players like that, where Kang's just going down, handing over a weapon to a team like PRX. And it's an open A site as a result of it.
Forsaken has not been getting that aggressive. I'm not sure he realizes they're playing A retake at the moment.
Can't use this yet.
If you work your way up a little deeper and you spot trips in certain positions, it can be a read. They're trying to fake A, hit B, but there's no one even on the A side who know they're faking.
Mati anjing.
G here, still want to try and hold their ground. Look at that, nobody. Ensures that there will be nobody crossing that main area. And most of the danger evaporates with those few kills. Now the rifle is still alive in Mindfreak's hands. Map control has been lost, but with only 17 seconds to do it, the time pressure is probably just going to be a little bit too much here for these players. Forsaken holding in case there is that peak.
Forsaken doesn't want to keep a sheriff.
No, he will be falling anyway. 8 seconds here. Does Mindfreak even commit to this? Taps. Okay.
Mati ini nggak bisa nge-plan.
Udah jangan. Take some guns out of their hands, maybe keep this rifle. One of his own, he doesn't.
Not going to hurt him too much. Take a look at this shot from something. It's not bad. Kang's facing there into 3 players though. Bit off a little more than he could chew in that round, but it did not hurt them. Up to 10 for EDG. They've had a blistering open to this defense half.
Si Alex dari difference kan dia. Tangannya gini ya, kayak pengen nyomot. Nyomot ke atas. Nanti kalau dia marah aja.
Looking all the more likely that we end up heading over towards Lotus. Knife not broken.
Kalau pas masih jadi pro player gimana ya? Pas masih main, pas di CS. What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing, guys?
Egonya nggak sebesar ini kali sekarang.
Sekarang karena coach sekali lihat orang main nggak sesuai yang dibikinin. What? Gitu anjing.
EDG are able to retake this spot fairly easily, give themselves good info. PRX are heavily favoring B. EDG have had the read.
Oh, the knife is good as well from Simon once more. It's going to pull players from EDG back over. And the smokes now going to be sent out here. This is Mindfreak. Rest of PRX trying to follow the cues.
Did they go for the Sova ult?
There's 40 seconds left here. Wingman with the plant. It's an unusual position for it as well. As maybe just trying to play ahead of the Hunter's Fury, but the plant goes down without any problem. Still that backside control as well, but the Hunter's Fury to try and play these players in EDG. They have that advantage once more with the players. PRX, they can't stand against it. They get extinguished as they're just trying to pull towards the back of the side. Something weaving in and out past this wall, but he's only one man. What can you do in this spot? Up and over with the Dizzy. Nobody's defusing because he knows he's got that safety net. His teammates holding, and hold they will. Safe hands from Chichu. 11th round now for EDG. Once more the money. It's going to be awkward for PRX. The losers bonus is definitely starting to accrue, but EDG at this point they are almost fated to go to that after 3.
EDG got a flurry of kills here when they were on the retake. Towards the back of Boba, PRX trying to force the fight. And EDG not going in as quickly as they had done in previous rounds, but mopping up just as easily.
Nonjok temennya tiba-tiba ya. What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? You punch me, bro.
Through that sage wall. Something they could have gone for on Icebox, never opted into.
Fast play is called up. Thrash not seeing much in terms of the backside. Shoot up there by the trap wire. Wingman
mengerikan.
Bullet spraying and praying away. Not enough to push back that plan, but the res is online, so something's back into the fight. And into the skirmish. They want to try and hold it down, but now retreating out back and away here. There's a flank time.
For a second, gitu dikit. For a second. For a second, lihat for a second. For a second, gitu dikit.
First passive post PRX.
Aduh, udah hancurin nggak sih pintu ini? Hancurin nggak sih?
Sent out into the hands of Jing. Satchel at his feet. A tap from nobody, and the angle from Chichu won't be safe from that one. He was seeing if he could do some of that damage ahead of time. Still nobody committing onto this one, but Smokey might return that favor back at it. With the kills flying through, Forsaken by trying to buy time with a flank. Already there, everybody's down and out, but time. It worked against him in the end with that hourglass just running dry.
Smokey mati.
So PRX get up to 7.
But it's a bittersweet victory there for PRX. Their economy is going to be garbage coming out of this.
Yeah.
A tragic situation. The first time that they chose to play a passive post instead of trying to fight on site. And it worked. But then Smokey killed everybody and has ruined their economy heading into the next round. They're going to be coming in with 2 Guardians.
Gila Smokey, bro.
No Mosh. Only 1 slow. No Paranoia.
Let's go.
They're prioritizing the weaponry, but their util is really
push
missing.
Push mid.
Trying to keep the morale up as well.
Udah bodo amat lah. Main kayak ranknya udah anjing. Main kayak main rank katanya udah. Fuck strategi.
Miscommunication again. Its head.
Shit.
And Mindfreak rip them off. Chichu now has to take risks.
Udah emang harus mainnya kayak ranked anjing. Nggak boleh pakai strategi anjing.
PRX sealed up and stolen this round away.
Mati.
Is that the kind of issue that's just going to get PRX 1 round though? And EDG quickly cover
Smokey dapat nih, Smokey nih. Tas. Nah kan? Satu lagi. Nah kan?
This is a larger problem.
Smokey cuma mau main flag. Berdua sama-sama ini ya.
You have to keep these guns.
Smoker anjing.
The economy is just
Smoker GG.
You're not even doing economic damage at this point.
Belakang lu. Uncle.
You're only really getting 3k plus the spike plant.
Aduh.
Kang knows. Overdrive wait. They can still make a play for this.
Aduh, main flag kayaknya kejauhan deh. Kejauhan gak sih?
He's got the spam and spray this one away.
Kejauhan, Cok. Wih.
Let's fucking go, anjing.
There's no way. I just utter relief. A quick shake of the head. That would have been a devastating toss of epic proportions. Mindfreak opens, Mindfreak closes.
Gila, smokernya tap.
Iya, yang berdua sama-sama ini anjing sama gila.
That's technically a Red Bull clutch from Mind Freak. Should never have been.
Alex bingung, Alex bingung.
Desk deserved that one.
No way, bro.
Alex kira kalah kayak dah. Pukul banget tuh. Habis itu makanya dia bengong kayak. Menang ya? Menang.
It's just scraps that you're working with in your PRX. I mean, pure scraps. And you're leaning on the individuality to bail you out once more. The deep mid push by EDG, all that information.
First time, no Sentinel.
Exactly. Not in a traditional sense. Mind Freak's back. Is wide open to the wall.
Flank.
Clear out most of the side as well. This game
Flank. Aduh, kagak ada sentinel lagi.
Well, flash.
Lagi.
Forcing it out. He does at least collect the wall here. Forsaken is going to try and stem this bleeding. There's a cage up into his face with bullets.
Udah stun. Aduh, kena KO lagi anjing.
No abilities to be playing.
Shit.
Pure gunplay has to try and reign supreme and save the day for them. But there's
Wall.
uncertainty
Tembok.
in the step of the PRX players. Roll up from Divide. Simon will go down, at least post-mortem. It's the ult that just fades away. The player positioning EDG is
Tapi nontonin EDG sama PRX itu seru anjing dua-duanya. Sama rusuh anjing.
Will not save something, not out of the
tidak.
From Chichu. In the 12th round,
Fuck.
tallied up, added to the total. EDG now, they can feel it. They're on the brink.
A really nice call from EDG on a round where not all of them had full weaponry. And PRX struggled enormously to get into good post-plant positioning there. They're all in solo spots. That's allegedly a Dizzy flash that catches onto Kangkang.
Oh my.
According to the assist, not that I saw it at all. But PRX were very slow, like I said, to transition into good post-plant spots there. They didn't play off device contact. They left him until last alive. Big errors creeping into PRX's game. After winning 13-3 on map 1, it looked done, it looked dusted. And yet EDG rise from the ashes, still with a chance of going to playoffs.
That's what is at stakes here for both of the teams. I mean, of course, elimination. Saying it all day long, but to make playoffs.
Cage triggered.
Last team to do it at that. To the B split. Thrash clears the way and paves a path open through into market. Trips going to be tangled and Gorging, who's lit up there, I believe, potentially by some trips, and it's played off beautifully. EDG are right into it, and they want to try and shut this down immediately. Hunter's Fury, peek by Forsaken. There's the punish. 3 left to stand.
What?
Insane mechanics.
Iya, GG.
Against the
Gang for the win, guys. Pasti 2-1 for the PRX.
13-8. What a resounding flip compared to last time we saw these two teams clash on Sunset. In Shanghai, in front of a home crowd, EDG got beaten 6-13. And now they're here for revenge, breaking a 12-map streak from PRX.
And willing to take it to that map 3 as well. Their last chance, the Bastion, to even make it to the playoffs. It's still anyone's game, you gotta think as well, but my God, has it been explosive.
Biasanya emang bikin deg-degan anjing.
This looks like a piece of furniture. This came out crazy. I'm so happy. The client asked us to desolder, although let us desolder this. Actually, it looks like a very good soldering job. So this should be a simple process to desolder this today. A pretty simple process. Whoa! Damn, this is sick. This is super sick. Beauty, yeah, definitely beautiful. Dude, there's not a lot of this that's working, I'm not gonna lie, guys. A lot of it's, don't need it anymore, but you wanna just, okay, let me screw it in, just make sure the keys all actuate and I didn't destroy anything by pushing this in. Kepler, like Armor or the K-pop group. This is a bit of an older board, so I would highly doubt this would be anything. Maybe 5 years ago. Was there K-pop stuff 5 years ago?
Whoosh.
I filmed Ooh, this. Ooh, this is a good looking. Ooh. All right, so
crispy
these
as shit,
are
bro.
MX2A cherry switches. I
Tick,
filmed,
tick, 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 tick.
lubed and spring swapped these. And I actually lubed these a bit different. That was the one thing I was going to tell you guys at the very end here. I wanted to get these to sound a smidge fuller, so I actually used a very, very small amount of GS2 instead of 205 on this. Oh, this sounds... Yeah, so the owner, Vitaly, he trusted me with picking some switches here for him, so...
Ini apa nih?
Cool!
Wih.
Oh, this is really... I don't know if that'll make
Wih,
a
keren, Bun.
difference.
Bisa.
Again,
Beli,
I
Bun.
didn't mind it with this silicone.
Mr.
The
Taxi.
way that this silicone has this pattern could also some difference, but it doesn't seem like the screws did. The last little experiment I want to do is taking off the feet. We'll screw it back in here.
Ada yang Lego waktu itu.
A wonderful. It does look really nice. The only change I would do.
Gue pengen deh yang Lego waktu itu kayak ada Lego. Ini gue nonton dia apa bukan ya? Lego. Lego keyboard. Nah ini juga bagus nih keycapsnya warnanya. Alex Sotos, oke ingetin namanya. Axolotl gue sih. Nah ini dia. Lego.
Why does this look like an IKEA box? We got some stable
Keyboard Lego,
This is
Bun.
pretty crazy. I know they had mentioned this could be
Coba.
extendable in the future. Or
Akhirnya
maybe
gimana
that's
deh?
what they meant by extend we're using today.
Ah, mana Legonya? Oh, casingnya Lego.
Iya, casingnya Lego.
It is, right? I know that people do
Tuh.
Lego streams, but this is my first time, bro. All right. Oh, these just peel off like this.
Lah ini
Interesting.
dari Legonya ya? Ada ini ya nih.
Again, I kind of wish
Apa enggak?
they just
Gak tau deh.
like this is kind of irritating to put
Coba.
on.
Dia bukan dari KBD Craft.
KBD craft boards for a while, but I've just never had the opportunity. Like these need to
Tuh.
be touched up a little bit, so these come with it called the ST.
Ini keycap siapa ini nih? Oh satu paket kayak.
Oh, satu paket.
Like these need to be touched up a little bit, so these come with it called the ST.
Iya satu paket ini.
Okay.
Tuh.
Some keycaps, which I'll just put to the side.
Tapi bisa beli pisah kayaknya dah.
They're
Ini dia beliin satu
pretty-
paket kayak.
This is all good to go. I'm actually want to see the RGB.
Tuh.
Especially this is costing like if you
Cuk.
didn't get the full
Bi-
kit.
Tuh itu hitam
This
doang.
costs 65
Dik-dik
for
doang.
the base kit.
Iya,
If you
keycapsnya.
don't file, it really makes I think is this is kind of nice. And it doesn't the gaskets are actually working too. Normally you'd be able to feel like a lot not super maybe the desk pads going up and down,
Mumble.
but the gaskets are doing what they need to do. All right, let's see what this sounds like. We got the fruit smoothie switches kit, the collection of basically.
Enak ya? Eh.
So good. Wait.
Oh, ini enak nih, ini enak. Tahu ini sih yang kayak apa? Apa sih namanya sound effect gigi yang di gitu?
Oh iya yang
Jadi apa yang diketerin? Kayak orang ketakutan anjing. Iya, kedinginan.
Enak deh satisfying. Itu banyak banget nih Bun. Nih kalau nyari siapa tahu lu mau custom keyboard nyari inspirasi. Nah, di sini Bun. Nah, kentut gue enak.
Cuma bisa gimana? Rasanya pahit ya? Lu
Wangi.
ambil lu masukin aja.
Wangi inian Dior Sauvage.
Anjing dia soft.
Kentut gue wangi Dior, Cak. Ini apa ya? Ini bagus juga nih kayaknya nih.
Few little kinks need to work out, and I think this would be a fun little board. You know, we're doing the Evo Lurk Epic, Epoch. I don't know actual cream keyboards we get, but very cool. So this is where the OLED sits, right over here. At the whole top row.
Gue mau lihat hasil akhirnya aja.
But they see, I feel like it very much depends or anything to alter this.
Ini keyboard atasnya keren juga ya.
But I don't know on this.
Silver abu-abu orange.
Might mean big. Oh right. So they can flip this guy over. Now mount, but we'll see. All right, let's see. So this is with PC plate. We're using Cupid switches, which I've used before and I quite like. That's why I ended up getting more. And this is the Epoch 87. We are gonna we're definitely gonna be trying out the top mount version of this as well. But this is the gasket sock, so it's sitting on silicone gasket socks.
Enakan yang Lego anjing. Kenapa?
Tangan temen gue kesleo anjing, izin.
Seleo ngapa anjing?
Tahu.
Seleo main palo. Enakan yang Lego dah kayaknya.
Where it does start to sound a little bit. That spacebar does sound nice like this though. Not the expensive side because of how many pieces really are going into.
Ayo bisa yuk, Lotus yuk, Lotus. Lotus jing pakai inian lagi, pakai raja lagi, nggak pakai neon. Something jet. Okay.
Yeah, deathmatch. Or on the attack to start for EDG. It's chaos here, but one of these teams here is coming to an end. And with the way they play, I feel like
kira-kira siapa yang menang? Semoga PRX.
Well, let's see how this all shakes out. My goodness, what a roller coaster this has been. Brendan Sideshow, have fun.
Oh, you know me. I mean, listen, man, listen. It's incredible these two teams agreed to the gentleman's agreement to have the final might be played as a deathmatch. But yeah, I am buzzing and looking forward to this one here because this is two teams. They ripe in the mud. That word was getting tossed around quite a bit on the desk. And they love to clash and fight here.
Well, here's a big clash happening towards
kita lihat.
to begin. And with both of these compositions, I'm looking at them. It looks like EDG should have a big advantage in any Rebel fights.
Yeah. Already seeing it. It's a flash to try and set them up nice and early here, but a nade cuts out the rest of Kangkang's team. EDG.
Kangkang ganti-ganti crosshair gitu, bro.
They're looking to not even really trap, because otherwise you'd be expecting Mindfreak to be playing at that door.
Enggak ada ini yang tadi dipakai.
Five-person re-clear.
And it's being held. There's almost an expectation of it from EDG with a Paranoia crossing its way up. And
aduh, mati dah ini. Habis ini PRX ini.
Advantages to be found and hard here, especially when the shots don't land and
habis ini PRX.
Kangkang is doing entirely all that.
Terus kan dari tadi nggak jelas nih.
It's beautiful. And set the stage. And our map 3 into motion for EDG. They were so damn aware.
Yeah, that's such a sick read from EDG. The call there to completely hide, wait for PRX to re-clear, and notice that even when PRX are re-clearing, they don't trigger the fight. They only trigger the fight when the dog is used, when they realize that they're not just going to leave. EDG wanted the A site without any fuss. They didn't want to cause any trouble, but PRX had to decide to take the fight, so they made them pay.
Now with the guns in their hands as well, once more, same beginning. What's opened up though?
I think the reason that PRX have changed their composition, by the way, to one that they used to run in the past, is because they're facing the Neon, Double Initiator, Clove. EDG's comp should want to go fast. It pushes a lot on the defense side as well. And so having those trips up, I guess PRX are just thinking is more valuable than running the double duelist, double initiator comp that they were previously testing out.
Yeah, it can be incredibly good.
It's an old comp though.
Heavy committal. This is Kangkang. He's trying to lock it down, but only 20 bullets into the clip. Luckily, he's got teammates and backup in spades. Nobody shuts down the eco round.
Gets fairly close to Nightfall. Probably won't have it online for round 3. So, looking like a bit of a dry bonus, but we'll have that for one of these potential swing rounds. At the end of the day, though, with all of our conversation around the compositions, I got to think back. The smartest man I know once said, "You get shot, you die," and he was quoting you.
Well, how about that?
Yeah. Even some smart people will repeat what you say.
Exactly. Some signs of intelligent life coming from me. Nade up and over. This is PRX opting into the fight.
PRX kalah, gue main
Skirmish
PUBG.
once more, but with Jing
Yes.
toppling, falling, something, not able to evacuate. There was an updraft dash to survive, and
What the fuck?
Only the one player found from that one. Davai going re-exploring.
Gila, gue jadi ini gila.
Util out into the few hands of these players.
Dapat.
Already he's going to be aware of it, and yet sees the barrel. So now he knows his timing taken against it, but the Prowler waiting it. No way, peak. Not together, still it's there. The Forsaken liner right behind
Smoky, keren banget, Cuk. So good.
Brutal beginning to PRX's Lotus. A map that they enjoy playing. But
Mau
after
jadi
how
bangkit dari
Sunset
kubur,
went,
Cuk, ada yang ngubur lagi
this is
anjing.
looking like a massive
Smoky,
turnaround.
Cuk, ngubur.
Iya anjing.
Compared to map 1.
Smoky sama Cico nih.
EDG pick up pistol. Pick up the bonus round. This is what catapulted them to success in the second half of Sunset. And already couldn't be more different reactions from the coaching staff.
Absolutely, the death slam.
Yang satu.
Si Alek yang sini beda banget ya. Kalau kalah ini.
The tag timeout.
And again, I mean, when it comes to strategy, it could be something as simple as like, guys,
What the fuck are you doing?
opt into this A
What the fuck are you guys doing?
when you're getting out.
Just keep calm. Go together.
Mentality. It could just be.
Go fucking using your brain. Go fucking using your brain. I'll say, brain.
Alex has literally just had the opportunity
Brain dead,
to do
bros.
that 3 rounds ago before they were in the map.
Di samping kumisan, Cok, tapi kumisnya warna ini anjing.
Warna
blonde.
apa? Blonde. Rusian
Gak kelihatan jadinya anjing.
Just wants to reiterate something, get them
Kumis
back onto the right
tipis-tipis.
track. It is crazy early
Kumis
for a tag timeout like
tipis-tipis.
this, though. And I think that
Nah,
indicates
nah, nah,
the
nah,
stakes
nah.
in this kind of situation. Everything that we were talking about on Icebox, about it being bitter disappointment for EDG, them fighting to break through in China, getting overtaken, they can't go out in groups and have a year of bombing out. Everything there also applies, perhaps even more, to PRX.
It's mirrored, I think.
They used to fight for trophies. Been overtaken in Pacific.
Mati. Aduh, aturan pakai vet juga enak tuh, kekunci tuh.
A fate that they've met before. Though that did precipitate a roster change.
It certainly did. Once more EDG. Listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Face your fear.
These A hits have been given access to the sites over and over again.
They realize it's a retake setup. They don't have very much retake utility on PRX, so you've only got to worry about a Sky Flash and a Paranoia, really.
Trailblazer and the Boombot's already being used to try and...
Are they leaving?
Lay the path for PRX, yeah. I mean, the util's already being used.
PRX have read it. This is strange from EDG. They had the read.
Aduh, mati PRX mati. Udah mati. Woi, enggak. Woi, bantuin dong. Ya, elah temennya pada kemana sih anjing? Masa sendiri-sendiri gitu, bro, anjing.
Goodness gracious me.
He has been so consistent for them in those tight situations, in the tough spots. Simon has been there already, paying dividends.
Ini selete kangkang. Bu, gila ente banget something.
He's not always at the top of the scoreboard. He doesn't have the prettiest stats.
Tuh, dari mana, Cuk? Dia dari luar.
He's good for big moments.
Iya, Cuk. Masih pada dalam semok, Cuk. Kena stun apa gimana?
Bailed them out of a tough spot there. All smiles and laughter for Haodong, but that one got a little dangerous. And something has the op.
I mean, how do you even play this? The posture of the util, though, EDG faking like they've taken this A. Robo control once more, this time walking into...
Haodong beralih ya dari IGL dan smokernya inian EDG. Beralih ke coach anjing.
Yeah, I mean, Davai spammed down. What is that? Just into the corner, tucked. Maybe seeking to play spoiler. Nobody pushed back. Off and away from the plan. Once more, another tap. He's seeing if there's any more util.
Sabar. Wih, mengerikan juga.
Shut out entirely from this B site. The composition itself is just not situated for these retakes. The amount of util that they have is essentially gone. As soon as Davai falls, he gets taken out of the fight here. The Haunt dealt with something with the dash as well, but there's no value to be had. Nobody's giving him that fight. And what a call to make. It looks like they're just going for the save.
That's brutal.
Dude,
If you don't want to play these retakes, though, why are you putting all of your Cypher utility and your operator on the same site?
That's the question.
And leaving B completely open. They 3-stack C, they put their op on the Cypher A, so both of those sites, very difficult to crack into. And you could give credit here to EDG that they've been conditioning A fights over and over at the beginning of this game. So maybe PRX felt comfortable in some degree that it wasn't just going to be a fast B hit. But if you do leave it open like that,
benar
there is
juga
no fight
kata
wall you can
kayak
put
ininya.
up to flash
Caster
yourself in and try to isolate the entry. There's no
way.
Katanya kalau PRX tidak mau main retake, kenapa OP sama Trap Cypher semuanya taruh di A, B-nya dibuka.
I'm not saying no way at your
Betul juga. Betul juga ya.
I'm saying no way at this. It's
langsung nih.
the timeout called for PRX. We're in round 6 of map 3. It's an elimination game. It's the final game of groups. Your final path to playoffs.
Ayo iya ini, Ila masa kalah sih, Cok. Kalau di awal ngebantai juga.
Just a complete collapse.
Jing, PRX EDG.
Brutal.
Ayo masih bisa, ayo.
Like he has to hit the panic button after 3 rounds and then after 2 more. He just spoke to them. If you want to think about how PRX's year has gone, a bit of a miracle run by their own words for them in Madrid to be able to make 3rd place. They got a podium finish. Something they're very used to. Had many of those last year. But they went from that 3rd, slipping down in Shanghai to a 5th, 6th. Now looking like they might end up getting grouped here at Champs. Are they getting worse? Is there more competition? Is this a signifier that something doesn't work about their playstyle, that they're going to have a reboot? All of these questions are going to be asked if indeed it plays out like this.
Swirling and circling around this team.
Anjing, Forza kan main kayak gue, Cok. Trap 1 taruh B, 1 taruh C, sendiri di C.
There's no more time for the coaching staff.
Gila. Ngikutin gurunya, Cok, dia.
This looks like a much more sensible defensive setup, though. I think Alex is already calling
Sense
to
Aksa.
spread out this stuff. Get the Cypher over C, get the op posted B.
What's going on here? Mindbreak has just opened up the door wide here. The sightline called. Holding over the shoulder with the operator through to Mountain is called for this pause. EDG making sure to let these PRX players simmer. Time has been bought, though. Following the sound cues, PRX are in position to take this fight forward to the Boombot. Tagging it up into the corner. They're going to be aware that there's a player holding onto the corner into this angle with the Seekers and another flash to play themselves in. This time, the gunplay, it does come out for the goods. And they are winning the day, paving the way to a successful round.
Sisa kangkung, sisa kangkung. Nice.
Cannot stop Jing. Feeling empowered of the rest of his team behind him. They get that round on the board, eliminating the goose egg.
There's only 2 pieces of plant denial in PRX's comp. The nade and the showstopper when Jing has it online. So they've got to be more creative in ways of slowing EDG.
Harus lihat reaksi gue, Bun.
Feeling empowered of the rest of his team behind him.
Lihat, lihat.
That round on the board, eliminating the goose
Good
egg.
joke. Shit.
Page at the same time. So they cut off their own offside line.
I'm so laggy.
Another rubble fight. You gotta be kidding me.
Marahin Indie Home.
We're gonna be loving this.
Yes, sir.
Ping's all about here. Showstopper, no worries or concerns.
Aduh, wow, udah mati lu, mati lu. Wah.
Adjustment, showstopper, the kills, and the bullets are least like claim to the life of Chichu, and now the rolling thunder to get EDG back in there. A bullet to the back of the head of Divide could not evacuate in time.
Something trying to get aggressive on the flank.
And he's gonna be flying standing his ground. So going to plug in the gaps potentially there in case the flanks were online. Brought to that 3 versus 3. EDG now with that tempo increase. They want to speed this one up into the ace. Jing, there's no way you're taking this, man. You have no teammates to back you up. You want to take the fight straight up. You're going to wait it still. Let's get that trade in play.
Dua-duanya.
But a shoulder peeking out is also been needs to claim and collect the kill with the dash now active.
Little bit.
Yes. Nobody surviving.
Yes. Let's go.
Up and away.
No.
Heaven player.
No. Yes.
Missing the timing is Forsaken.
Let's go, timingnya.
Grasps it.
A close one to get PRX's second onto the board. Forsaken saves the operator, and that push out from something made all the difference. He had to get that
Dapat
timing
yang ngomong.
and punish EDG for not running a sentinel in their composition.
Kursinya mau nggak sih lu, Bun?
Ayo beliin.
VCT champion.
He forced EDG to speed up as soon as
ini ya apa?
down.
Apa namanya?
And then you're right.
Apa namanya? Gue lupa.
Secret Lab.
Iya, Secret Lab.
Hitam terus aksen emas gitu. Bagus loh.
Gue pengen bilang ini tadi Secret Class kan lu salah nih.
Secret Class.
Still be playing aggressive whilst covering the flanks. I was critical the last time they stacked their
Secret
operator
School.
on the same side of the cipher.
Nice.
But this time, at least they have that trip B, and they've made the right read.
Flash with Haunted over as well, so something can't take that early. Line of sight angle, but now does the
Dapat
dash.
nggak sih? Aduh, kelihatan anjing, what the fuck?
Kayak dia pas banget ini dah kayak kiri kanan itu.
Kayaknya iya sih. Barrel kelihatan juga kayaknya dah.
He's dropped as a result of it. It's crumbled again here for PRX. Just trying to play fast and loose into the site. Flood anchoring the defense. Broken and crumbled. Divide with a trailblazer, spotting these players out with the paranoia. It's good to play themselves in, but Ching is caught. Blinded up by it, and as the smoke's fade away, there's no chance. It's Chicho with 3.
Oh my god.
Wraps up the round nice and pretty, and puts that 6-1 down on the board here for EDG.
Kung is not going to get caught by an op play like that. He read it so well. Got aggressive into the site, making space for the rest of the team.
Mana nih ayo runner-up champion.
That setup they needed to go for the retake. Nice! I am loving the Haodong. Wow! We've heard it a couple times now.
Haodong wahoo anjing.
Haodong. It's getting better and better. PRX have 4
Si
players
Cico sama
over
Smoky
towards A.
nih
They want to
PRX
control
Destroyer
rubble.
anjing.
They need that comfort that A is locked off. Their comp
Sama
doesn't thrive with it though. And
ini
EDG
sumpah
have
si
taken
Simon
B
pakai break
instantly.
setannya itu.
Of the gaps that the composition leaves open. A B plan, a slight tap from
Aduh,
nobody.
Kang. Aduh, Smoky udah.
They just can't quite play off
Ah!
this one. There's a flash into the faces again to push them back.
Wah,
The door open for Forsaken, not anticipating it. Fully blinded.
Woi, gila.
Jangan di-spam. Ya iyalah.
Smoked off, cut out
Kan
of the
di-spam balik ya,
picture.
Bang. Iya, Bang, kata gue mah.
It's him against 3. No more money to buy for the next tier.
Coba kagak di-spam.
It's a pill to swallow that you just have to save it away. Keep the rifle into the next, give up another round for EDG, because at this point, EDG, they are running away with it.
It might look like unorthodox compositions on both sides,
keluar
but there could not be a bigger gap in terms of value
Gue
from
di
the
mana kali ya?
picks
Gue di mana
at
lah.
the moment.
Bun.
PRX's defense,
Jelas anjing di FPS yuk.
honestly, it's not been their stronger side on Lotus historically.
PS ini
Maybe you
PS
could throw
rental.
some cope out there and say,
Yeah.
oh, well, you know, if they get up to
Respect,
4 or
man.
something and grab the pistol. But the trade came through so late, like even the small details. I love the
Wah,
movement
gila,
from something.
Cicu sih.
It's fantastic. That next player needs to be through the door immediately. You can't be waiting for the paranoia to come through or sync it up at the same time. It feels rusty from PRX, like they've pulled an old comp out of the wardrobe and it's full of moth holes.
With those gaps as well. Holes, as you put it. It's EDG. Here, ready to try and capitalize. Simon, shredded with bullets. Calling for the reclear and backup.
There.
Kung spots one. Expecting some kind of bait and switch.
PRX going for the old tried and tested here, just trying to follow these sound cues. Chichu denied that chance of any sort of information, but Kang's going to be dropped here. The stun was gone.
Kok Smoky bisa dapat jika anjing dalam smoke, what the fuck?
His team happy to play off the back of it. An open sight once more.
Anjing, temen gue dapat seragam duluan.
Rifle in the hands of Mind Freak. Forsaken
Nice.
is very much isolated though, in through the site as well. Shoulder spotted, nobody gets that information. Calls for the rest of his team here. Weapons are going to be picked up, but again,
Bunuh tuh satu.
EDG.
Simon lo tuh.
Fault line.
Wah gila Smoky, Bun anjing.
Just roots Forsaken out of
Kata gue
spot.
Smoky sama Cico
No
udah
safety to
itu.
be held at the back of that site there. 8-2 EDG.
And they can feel it. What a recovery. What a turnaround. Losing map
Tuh,
1, 13
tuh udah
to
smoke
3.
anjing dapat si Jing.
And then
Kasihan Jing.
kind of pasting PRX on their own map pick, halting a 12-map win streak on Sunset, and now
udah nembak udah tap nih Smogi.
The momentum could not be more one-sided. The scales have tipped thoroughly in EDG's favor. They go fake a rubble fight, hoping that they bait out a push over towards Mound. Jing doesn't bite. Not this time. Making the rotate himself over through Waterfall. Leaving C weak, leaving B weak, going to reinforce a site that EDG have no interest in.
And they're stacking over towards A. I mean, PRX are doing this play when they already have a deep cam that's committed.
That's what I'm talking about. It's in no way refined, what we're watching from PRX's defense. I think they've pulled this comp out because they thought it would be a good counter to EDG, and they're just not practiced enough with it. Not anymore. Maybe tides will turn on the attack side. Something, possibly, could have made me believe with that.
4 masih bisa lah kalau 9-3 mah kejauhan anjing kalau pistol Lorona kalah.
The camera's finally broken. A double divide, that's a peek of his own flash.
What the fuck?
He's just never going to be favored there.
Udah makanya nggak usah pakai sekali lagi nggak sih, orang udah dinner anjing.
Easy access to these sites. The retakes just have not been there. PRX
mending bridge for second.
This time out through the back satchels in play attack from Simon. There's that uncertainty up and through. Not dead yet. Smoggy back into the fight and the fray, but the kills collected bodies toppled, falling.
Ini kayak kalah dah sama Smoggy deh.
Needs to be given something here to play his teammate in, but nobody's now going to be that last one left.
Bisa nggak sih?
Into a 1v2.
1v2 orang oke ya no time. Nyawanya 30.
And 2 bullets left in the chamber. There's no more options. Has to stick it for any chance, and Forsaken knows it.
Ayo 84 masih bisa, 93 kejauhan anjing. Kalau pistol Lorona kagak menang bahaya.
These pre-takes are the only things working for PRX. They had many players heaven as the plant was going down.
Ayo.
Finally got the
Menang gak lu PRX?
on the right side and hit it.
Emang mau gue main PUBG nih cuk, kagak.
EDG didn't have anybody that deep that could really stop them. But like I said, that's the only thing that's been working for them.
Davai pun tahu kalau harus 8-4 daripada 9-3.
Yes sir.
Make the showstopper turn into a round victory, and 8-4 half with a pistol. Suddenly, there may be a glimmer, a flicker of hope.
Salvageable. Forsaken's just opened up the door wide.
His cam's got a little bit of info.
Spotted that out and not actually broken as well as a result.
I'm not sure how much he saw though. He was barely on it for a second. He's just looking for question marks on the minimap. Don't know whether he saw any.
Yeah. The round has been slowed down to a crawl though.
But again, PRX have got their defense.
Gak usah dipik. Ini orang-orang suka pada nyepam, ntar tiba-tiba kena terus the smoke seperti Smogi contohnya ngetap. What the fuck?
Gila.
Tuh ganti crosshair lagi si Kangkang.
Iya, sekarang titik ya. Gila cuk.
Tas, mainin mati nih. Nah, itu dapat baru.
Aduh. Belakangnya jangan mati semua.
Displaced from this position. PRX might have that surrounded, but again, they are fully aware. EDG knowing all the tricks at the sleeves of the
susah.
sees of the connection, all the acknowledgement
Susah. Mati Jing.
An open sight for
Dia
taking
ngecek kiri
on
dulu,
to see.
cuma cek kiri.
And an impossible
Kagak
situation for
dicek
Jing
sama
to
dia,
play.
ya kan?
EDG baiting out so many of the tools that PRX wanted to play off.
Mana pernah PRX ngecek gitu cok anjing. Kalau udah kayak gitu pasti udah panik. Jalan. Nggak mau pelan-pelan walaupun spike belum di plan juga.
If there is a glimmer of hope, it is a dark, small light in a vast cavern.
Gila nih, bagus nih pisaunya nih.
Nitricus. Mereka udah down budget cok.
Gara-gara gua buka Inspire Arena kayak sama ini. Sama keyboard. Udah gua buka ini ya. Ini yang tadi lagi nggak sih itu ceweknya? If Smogi has a million fans. Yang tadi bilang Smoggy G-nya good. Tadi ada.
EDG just pulling off an absolutely unreal comeback overall in the series when they just got flattened.
Real comeback.
Resilience is on display, and at the back of their minds, an unwillingness to go home. They need to prove that they can reach greater heights than they have done before in the past, and it starts with getting past an old rival. It starts with getting out of the groups.
Playoffs on the horizon.
Ada di ini kah? Di split kah?
Win away from getting through to playoffs, and as Alex said earlier in the coach interview, having that extra lifeline.
Pause play.
One of these teams is so much closer to that map victory than the other. Double sheriff in the hands of EDG. Smoggy's been lights out anytime he's played on Lotus, anytime he's playing Clove.
And this is a squeeze being applied, at least to feign like they could be trying to fight over towards Mound and section of B from EDG. I think the goal of it potentially is to cause a pivot from PRX into the high-low setup that they've got going on. At least with the Sheriffs, it's a cool strategy that EDG have brought out into the pistol, but...
High-lows.
Yeah.
All over the place, on C, on A.
And this could tear PRX apart already to peaks if they're not
Aduh, kan nge-picknya atu-atu.
Which they're not. EDG ready for it, nobody's still alive.
Daripada lo. Udah, habis deh. Tang.
Tang. Denied the 4, but Chichu is fully there. Entirely but a cleanup.
Absolutely in control, EDG. If it went over towards A, high-low, set up towards stairs. Horn didn't get broken. Full information, dropped back into a high-low setup. And Simon and Nobody, the IGL and the newcomer, doing so much work.
Ayo banyak yang comeback, 10-3, 10-4, banyak yang comeback. Apakah PRX akan menjadi salah satunya? Sepertinya tidak.
Primed and ready to pounce. That last spot of the playoffs. It's almost theirs for the taking. No force in sight from PRX.
Mati. Apa sih? Loncat-loncat anjing.
Smoggy. Pure mechanics on
Mati.
display.
Smoggy
just rip them all away.
Smoggy.
11-3. EDG with no concept of mercy. No thought in the back of their mind of taking their foot off the neck of PRX. Friends outside the server, bitter rivals inside.
Keinin something ya.
Smoggy is wiping them away.
Waduh.
And it is just pure emotion, isn't it? A matchup that just failed it so many times against this team for PRX. Guns in their hands. Now is the time to make the most of it. That a bit over aggressive. EDG making the go of things here. They're still hard committing into the fight. They make the call as well to try and at least collect themselves together, but the weaponry not favored on these long sight
Gue kayak kemarin kalau nonton PRX kalah mulu. Kalau nggak nonton menang.
Dia nggak usah nonton pun, coba.
This was a strat
Coba gue nggak usah nonton.
very much struggled with. They found the right reaction by pushing into C, but then couldn't play the post plans properly. This time, PRX hold on. And like you say, use that advantage of having the better long-range weaponry. EDG are not going to fight like that in every round, though. It's something they'll throw in occasionally, and maybe less so now that PRX have showcased they're willing to stand their ground and fight.
PRX kalau udah gini kayak kagak semangat lagi sih anjing. Kayak mainnya udah ini anjing throwing.
Masih menang Zak. Gue nggak nonton nih.
Masih menang.
Oh nice.
Dapai lu tuh ngapain?
Kenapa sih? Gue lihat
kan menang ya Ronnya. Terus itu dapai. Round by round.
They know the secret just to have a short-term memory.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I mean, that's just so funny.
Davai is right on the money, though. It has to happen round by rounds, one at a time. Orbs farmed up. Mass migration now over towards the A side here. Chichu is alone taking this angle, but there's less to really threaten him off this spot when there's no Viper in the play as well. He can just jiggle this one for a bit of util, and he's even got Simon to help him out. When the Trailblazer cleared its way through, I believe both rifles fired off something, but a dash to disengage and pull that one back. And around, Forsaken. Cam up forwards, he spotted Kang, but doesn't want to try and take that fight towards it. Nobody with the door opened up wide will have to at least concede that space, give it up and hold the C's. Now into his hands, lets it loose. What a connection!
Gila.
Just absolutely running over these players. PRX steamrolled in the process. Jing, he'll have to do it all. But Aftershock in his back satchel away, and the aim reset just not there in time. EDG up to 12.
Match point.
Nobody's utility was phenomenal last time we got to watch them on Lotus. He had seizes all over the place, connecting, and he's doing it again. The seize is amazing, Smoggy's follow-up is great, and then he just jumps in knowing that the rest of his team's got his back. And I think a bit of that,
oh, this is it,
stoic nature
listen,
needs to be given to Alex here.
And let's get back into the fight, because it could just be ending in a blink of an eye. The series, the tournament lifeline for PRX. Warded and postured. As I've said prior, they can't hold a candle to the amount of util that EDG can just pull out. So the A rubble control is theirs for now. One way's rejuvenated. PRX holding, biding their time, waiting to strike. The counter spam is there, updraft up and around as well. Swinging through, Paranoia is there, Showstopper needs that value. Jing, he's on a life that's unexpected. Up on the high ground, Chichu, he's trying to shut them down. Nobody's by his side, but the rifles, maybe. There's a lifeline. Into the hands of PRX, he's still with a minute to play with.
Begin pun.
Nobody's pushing out through B. Smoggy still with his ultimate. An eerie calm drops towards rubble. An area that's known so much bloodshed, and almost all of it going the way of EDG in this map. PRX have carved out a small opening. Do they think of the flank?
The flank timing, nobody could shut this down, Dubai! The awareness is there.
Surely too difficult of a situation for Smoggy, even with how well he's been playing.
There's no time.
There's 15 seconds.
This time pressure could just spell
Smoggy.
defeat. And for Smoggy to be the hero his team needs in this spot, Dubai. Planting, medal is used first, lowering them down!
What the fuck?
Them down! Smoggy!
Wah, Smoggy ini apa ya?
Destroys the hopes and dreams of PRX. Knocks them out of groups. Revenge has been earned. And a playoff picture potential there. EDG, the chances for them to go on a run now, to reach greater heights than they have in the past, have never been more present.
Well, after map one, it did not look like we were going to be seeing EDG making their way to playoffs. The second Chinese team to get out of groups behind explosive Trace, who surprised us all. But it is bitter disappointment there for PRX. A team used to fighting for trophies, who've been in those spots before in grand finals appearances, overtaken this year domestically by Gen G, and now grouped for the second time at Champions in their history. A rough year sliding downwards for them. It's a long off season to think over what could have been, but it's hugs on stage. They respect EDG, and how could you not? This team rallied back and put on a show. And Smoggy's individual performance was
outstanding. 21-6 is where he's ended it all.
Nge-spamnya itu loh, anjing gila.
Iya.
Despite EDG being the last to qualify here for our playoffs, they are right.
Kenapa lo gitu?
As I said earlier, the world is essentially their oyster. You get that fresh reset as you head into the playoffs as well. And for them, a chance as well.
Gila, udah awal yang baik malah ini anjing.
And not just Shanghai, this is only their second win this year at a global event. Had they gone home, it would have been devastating their year as a whole. Not making it out of basically any situation. They got gifted that playoffs berth previously. Didn't necessarily earn it by beating international competition, but here today they have. They've turned a new leaf and are looking to try to bring that momentum further into playoffs. It's going to be a tough road ahead, but I have been impressed with this squad.
Yeah. The improvements I think that they've made, match in, match out, they've shown that resilience, I think. Even in just this series alone, they've shown that they can make those comebacks happen. Mental fortitude, however you want to describe it, but also just, I think, the strategy. There's a level that I saw from them in their match against G2 earlier, where they can anti-strat, they can play against the team's strengths. This is a squad that has that potential to go further. And now they've earned their chance to just do that entirely here. We're going to be sending it down to the stage in just a moment, but a Verizon post-match interview. Not too sure who's down there as well, but not just that, yeah, Chichu. And also the setup as well for the draw show. We're going to be finding out exactly how our playoffs are going to be set up.
Pasti Smoggy yang di ini. Oh enggak, bukan.
Welcome down to the stage, everyone. I have EDG's Chichu here with me and Luna to help with the translation, of course, for our post-match interview. EDG의 치추 선수 만나보겠습니다. 승리 축하드립니다. 너무나도 익숙한 페이퍼렉스를 상대로 승리를 거두면서 플레이오프에 진출하게 됐는데요. 오늘 경기 소감부터 들어보도록 하겠습니다. Congratulations, Chichu. You faced them again. You took them down. You guys are in the playoffs. So what was it like going up against PRX when the stakes were so high? And especially because you guys were really familiar with each other.
恭喜你们现在是进入到了淘汰赛嘛，而且你们再一次面对到 PRX 也是赢下了他们。那在如此紧张的一个赛程之下，遇到这么熟悉的对手，现在赢下来感受是怎么样的呢？今天比赛？
说实话，第一场输的时候，我想到了不好的事情，但是怎么说呢？就调整，然后准备二三场图嘛，因为我们跟他交手很多次，我们也对他比较熟悉。因为我们第一场图就是失误太多了，然后后面我们做得很好，我觉得。
Suara berat anjing.
怎么说呢？也是我们调整成功了吧。
We lost the first map. I was thinking something bad, but we do the adjustment quickly on map 2 and map 3, and we faced against PRX so many times. We are so familiar to each other, and we made a lot of mistakes on map 1, and we'd be able to like fix it on the map 2 and map 3.
사실 1세트 내주고 나서는 정말 안 좋은 기분이 점점 들면서 안 좋은 예감이 들기도 했는데 그래도 1세트 때 만들었던 실수들 그리고
Map 1 yang dikasih anugerah something, map 2 sama 3 kasih anugerah Smoggy anjing.
Smoggy and Chicho 또 많이 익숙했던 것들이
gila.
도움이 됐던 것 같다고 얘기를 하는데요. 그리고 로터스에서 페이퍼렉스가 또 투타격대 조합으로 수비 쪽에서 먼저 시작을 했거든요. 좀 페이퍼렉스
See you guys in the live stream. What the fuck? Salah.
So last map, Lotus, PRX ran the double duelist comp and they started on defense. What was your game plan heading into that map?